30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds.
Tiger blood pumping, robot is ready
10,
to go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Tiger blood pumping, robot is ready to go. No place for land whales, because it's time to go. Trigger warning, the trigger warning show. Trigger warning, the trigger warning show. Trigger warning, the trigger warning show.
Welcome to the Trigger Warning Show on this American Thanksgiving Day, which means nothing to the rest of the world, but I think it means a lot to the Yanks. You don't hear the word Yanks too much these days, do you? So, hello everyone. Welcome to the show again, where we'll talk about some more garbage today. Hello, Polly. How are you?
I am great, thanks.
And all the way from New York, hopefully he's been eating food all day and maybe drinking, is Price of Reason. How are you, Price?
I'm okay. I mean, relatively okay. I watched a pretty bad show today,
Yes,
but I won't reveal any more.
Thank you for doing that. And any turkey today? Are you going to get sleepy on us?
No, I haven't had it yet, but people are probably going to bring me a plate. So if in the middle of us streaming for like 1 minute, I have to go take a plate and put it next to my microphone, don't be surprised.
I've never asked this. Are you actually in prison? Because that sounds like you're in prison if someone's going to just bring you a plate. Do they shove it under the door?
Under the
Is it
door,
followed
yeah.
by a little bit of rape later in the evening?
I had to get that in there.
I know how that sounds. That sounds very suspicious, but somebody's going to bring me a plate. That really is going to happen, I think.
It's Price's drug dealer. It's a little bonus he brings over for Thanksgiving, and all the way from South Korea. Even though he doesn't sound like he's from South Korea, he's Mr. Despot. How are you today?
Doing very well, Robothead. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming. You're our first special guest. I mean, Price is special, but you know he's always here, so it's
We're all special in our each unique way,
Yes.
Robothead.
That's very true. That's very true. And because it is Thanksgiving, what have we got here? First off, before we get into the wonderful, wonderful show we've been watching, I just got a quick, with the help of ChatGPT, the top 13 for some reason things America has given the world, and I just want to get everyone's opinion if these are good things or bad things. So while everyone's out there eating and drinking, you can let me know in the comments. But first off, fast food and fast food chains. Has that been a bonus for the world, getting everyone fat?
Fast food's
Anyone?
great. I mean, if you overeat, fast food is like anything. Here's a brilliant Thomas Sowell quote: "Food isn't necessarily a good thing." It's a great quote. The point he's getting at is if you eat food, in moderation, you'll be healthy. But if you eat too much of it, you'll become fat. Same with anything, right? And I think he was talking about like government policies. But anyway, he uses these brilliant analogies, and it's like fast food is that. It's a bit of unhealthy, fun food, but do it in moderation.
I do like
You
that.
have to have the guilty pleasures, don't you?
I do like that Super Size Me documentary turned out to be all a load of shit, and he died of
What a
alcoholism. So
what a piece of shit, man, that guy was. I mean, people will say things like "R.I.P." Now, fuck that guy, man. He lied. He fucking lied. He was an alco. When he started that documentary, his liver was fucking trash.
yeah, and his throwing up was from his alcoholism, not the food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he made that, and millions, tens of millions of people who saw it thought, including me, because I was a teenager. I didn't know my arse from my elbow. And this was back in the day before, everyone was based online and we could go to the internet and actually get the refutation and see, okay, these receipts are bullshit kind of thing. So nobody knew any better. And I remember watching that thinking, oh, wow, I shouldn't eat McDonald's. And it's like, this piece of shit cost so many people just a decent meal at McDonald's because he wanted to be famous. What a scumbag, man.
And they sort of ignored the fact that, like, in some areas, apparently in the States, the only playground you could find was actually at a McDonald's. Like, they actually was somewhere where the kids could play. And he was saying, don't take them there, they'll die. They'll be throwing up outside the car. I have also heard, though, that, like, here we have beautiful grass-fed beef in our Big Macs, and they're wonderful. But I've heard
Yeah, 100%
they
beef.
taste completely different in the States. So, which I've never tried McDonald's in the States, but I don't know, Price, if you have to suffer through the horrible meat. But here, the burgers at Macca's are quite good. I like a Big Mac.
Really? I mean, the thing for me with Big Mac is that there's something nostalgic about it. You know exactly what it's going to taste like, and there's some kind of nostalgia going on. It's not the best burger, and in probably the past 10, 20 years, there's been a lot of even fast food chains that have like higher end burgers. So I think they've taken a lot of the market, even though I guess McDonald's still does well because of its brand. What I will say about the guy that made the movie, though, is that even regardless of him being an alcoholic, the whole thing was a sham to begin with. Because what normal person goes to McDonald's breakfast, lunch, and dinner and eats 70 burgers? Even if you sat at home and you ate 70 burgers and kept making French fries for yourself and eating them every second, you'd also be unhealthy.
Yes.
Now, the other thing is he didn't even keep his receipts. He didn't keep a food diary with the receipts, so it was completely illegitimate. There were literally no receipts. Like, do you know what that movie is? You look at that movie today, and it's just some dude's YouTube video, right?
Yeah.
It is totally
It was the first YouTube video.
And you know what
a
it is?
genius.
The top comment on that video is, "Bro, show me the receipts or fuck off." Nobody.
Source,
that
trust
from
me,
you?
bro. Source, trust me, bro. Yeah.
Today. Like, we often kind of look back to the past with nostalgia glaze and rose tinted glasses. Oh, the past was so much better. But you watch something like that and you think that actually fooled people. Like,
Yeah, it
people
did.
were such fucking low information
It had
morons.
some power,
back then.
didn't it?
You never get away with that.
I
but
don't
it
want
was-
to rain on anybody's parade. Sorry, what were you going to say, Roboto?
I was just going to say it was very exciting because it had that feel of a YouTube video. Like, it felt like
Yeah.
one of us, like, because there wasn't YouTube there. I remember watching it. And it was this guy on the street with his camera and just doing this doco. And
Yeah,
it was,
stick it to him.
Yeah, he was sticking it to him, and it was so popular. And yeah, it just did. Looking back, it does feel like watching a YouTube video. Sorry, Price, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that I don't want to throw salt on all of your wounds, and I'm not just saying this now. When it came out, I had friends that were all excited, like what you're just saying. And they said, are you excited about this supersized movie? And I told them, I don't trust this guy. I just said it, just my instinct. I told them what I told you. I said, if he eats burgers all day and he gets fat, it's not a movie. That's just some shit. Like, I don't care. And then, like, at the end, historically, I feel good about myself that's what I said. It's the same thing with Lance Armstrong and his bracelet that he was helping the world. And I said, I don't believe that guy is helping anybody. And I was right. I never bought the stupid bracelet. I had friends, they all bought it. They're like, don't you want to buy the bracelet? I'm like, no, I don't trust this guy. I'm not giving him $1.
I'm seeing prices. We call it Flying High in Australia, but in America it was Airplane, I think, the movie, the comedy one, where the guy's walking through the airport and he punches a Hare Krishna that's trying to raise money. I just see Price walking down the street, just pushing people away from him that are asking for money or help. He doesn't trust anyone. I think it's the way to be these days. So that's that fast food was, I think we'll say it's a good thing. The Spurlock
food's a good thing,
documentary is
Leanne.
terrible. Number 2, America gave us superheroes. Is that a good thing? And It's really lucky America did it, because if Australia had done it, it would have been like Steve Irwin would have been our superhero guy in khakis, saving wrestling crocodiles or
Yeah.
something. So, but superheroes, are we on board for superheroes? We everyone's got to be
Everyone
on board
loves
for
a
that, don't
superhero.
they?
Yeah,
Everyone
everybody
loves
likes
someone
superheroes.
that's super.
Yeah,
And number 3, Hollywood movies. Well, thank God for those, or we'd have nothing to talk about. I don't know if they've improved over the years or gone backwards. Well, I think we all agree they've gone backwards. So something we're going to talk about later. I was thinking all the crap I've seen about the Wicked movies. That the same, like Hollywood made the original Wizard of Oz, and they made the current Wicked movies. The same place made both those movies, and it seems like they're a world apart.
Yeah.
So they gave us Hollywood movies, TV sitcoms. I don't know about you, where did you grow up, Despot? Are you allowed to reveal that information?
I think any British person listening to this knows I'm from Northern Ireland.
I don't know about you, but Australian TV was dominated by American TV growing up. So just everything after school. I mean, we did have
a lot of British TV as well.
Yes, the ABC would show the BBC, so we'd get Doctor Who in the afternoon. And just before Doctor Who was the Kenny Everett show, which was an amazing upbringing for a young lad, a young robot, seeing the hot gossip dances. I think that's what they were called. But I know there was women with their boobs hanging out just before Doctor Who came on. So it's quite the education. But besides that, it was, like the Brady Bunch and Happy Days and every sitcom and show through. Even now, we're so dominated by American, even more so than back then. But Despot, was that your experience growing up?
I don't recognize any of that stuff. I mean, there was a lot of British stuff
In
on
principle
TV.
or in reality?
In principle, he doesn't recognise it. It says
I don't
as
know. I mean,
television.
there was the usual British stuff like Coronation Street and EastEnders and all that, but I never watched any of that. I always hated them. It bored the shit out of me. So I didn't watch much British TV. I loved all the American stuff. Like The Simpsons was my favorite show growing up.
It's hard to believe how big The Simpsons were at one stage. At first,
It is. It's difficult. It's difficult sometimes to explain to Zoomers how big X was, like how big,
Yes.
say, Michael Jackson was, or how big The Simpsons were, because they're not. We grew up in a kind of monoculture, where everyone was watching the same show, whereas now you could have someone who has 15 million subscribers on TikTok, and 98% of the population has never heard of this person.
Yeah.
Like there was some TikToker attacked at a TikTok con or something recently.
That's not easy to say.
Say it again 3 times.
She's a streamer. She's like an Asian or type streamer, and she's very cute, very good looking. And I don't know, maybe her fans are all simps. I don't know, but she was like sexually harassed. I'd never heard of her. Apparently, she has like 15 million subs, but I'd never heard her name spoken once. That's the kind of culture we live in.
It is. Right.
So it's hard for young people today to, like, people who are teenagers in their early 20s, to imagine what it was like when everyone had the exact same sort of cultural framework, and the vast majority of people were watching the same shows and movies.
It was a fun time. People quoting The Simpsons. And you mentioned Michael Jackson, and people will say, like, Taylor Swift's is big. And you're like, you have no idea how big Michael Jackson was. Like, it was insanity, like, if he toured or people outside the hotels and just people crying at the concerts. Yeah, people just don't have any idea.
He also really, he was a game changer, unlike Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is just a generic vanilla marketing machine that churns out the same album over and over again. You couldn't even tell the difference between her songs. Michael Jackson, with every video of his, changed, the way music videos were made, changed entire industries and mediums, and he was just this kind of popular figure that anywhere he went in the world, he could go to the dumpiest village in the middle of some shithole, I don't know where, and he'd go there and everybody knows who he is. Everybody just knew who Michael Jackson was. Totally different from Taylor Swift, and needless to say, a lot more talented than her.
He was so committed to the changing all the time. He changed his skin tone and face regularly, so he just always looked different.
It's all part of the creative process.
So we have TV sitcoms, rock and roll, I suppose music in general, but rock and roll could be a bit of an argument, couldn't it, from the Brits? Well, I suppose American can claim rock and roll
Well,
did come
Marty
from the
McFly
blues.
brought it, didn't he?
Yes. You've always loved that in Back to the Future.
Oh,
the only
man.
complaint I've ever heard is Marty McFly taking Chuck Berry's glory and claiming rock and roll for the whites. Thank God he's there
hurts.
doing that for us. So, the wrestling entertainment is number 6. Nowhere else in the world could do wrestling like America, could they?
No.
Were you a wrestling fan, Price, growing up?
You know, during the early days when you had these kind of Hulk Hogan and a bit later those kind of Undertaker, yeah, I watched a little bit. I wasn't too keen on it, and until this day, I can appreciate what it is, but at the same time, I don't really spend time watching it. I have other things to watch.
I find it fascinating that it's sort of like opera for rednecks. It's like a stage show for in Australia, bogans it would be, and rednecks in America. But so I never watched it, but now I'm fascinated with documentaries on wrestling. So I seem to be watching.
Behind the scenes is a lot more interesting, though, isn't it? Really.
Yes, it's crazy, and it's crazy how dedicated they are, and and some of it's quite sad. These, going to be star footballers that got an injury and ended up doing wrestling instead. I mean, the money probably made up for it, but back in the day, was it Mankind that used to wear the mask and jump through the cage? And as a kid, I think he used to jump off his parents' roof to impress his friends and stuff. And yeah, I've always found wrestling insane, but the behind that McMahon, is that his name? What's his name? The head of wrestling, or he was
Vince
the head?
McMahon, whatever his name is.
Yeah. There's a recent doco on him that's fascinating, just how insane his life has been. So wrestling, they gave us theme parks and Disney. They also gave us.
But I like that America's so excessive. They have 2 Disneylands.
Oh yeah,
Don't
they're
have
spread
one.
around the world.
Yeah.
There's one
No,
in
I know, but
Paris
even
and-
in the one place.
Yeah. Well, they're on either side. So
Right.
I've been to Disneyland. I haven't been to Disney World. Apparently, it's so much bigger.
It is. I've been to both of them as a kid, and World was a bigger experience.
What the fuck is it with the adults that are into it that don't even have kids and obsessively go there on like season passes, and they go there every chance they get? There's even channels that are just fat people showing you how to get around Disneyland the easiest way.
I think half the people that we talk to in our circles go to Disneyland in their spare time.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like we
What-
know
what's with-
them. You're talking as if they're imaginary. Like I can think of a few that we both know.
I don't know. It's
Yes.
part of the fountain of youth, American culture.
Yeah, it seems like the most American thing ever. I do love those channels. I've seen them somewhere, and they're.
And also, sorry, but don't you know old is the new young?
What do you mean by that?
Old is the new young. That's what their pitch is, right?
Oh, like being a kid, being a child.
No, I'm just
Also-
saying, like, that's the mindset these days.
It's also so
It is.
expensive. It's so expensive that it's become like an adult thing to go to it. And
Yeah, that's the truth of it.
They have something like after hours and things like that they make more money. I don't know if you know about that.
Sounds so seedy.
I like that they introduced alcohol, and like a month later, there was a video of a big punch on at Disneyland.
You don't know what
In
I'm
the
talking about?
costumes?
What's that
Like
price?
That they do the I'm not kidding. There's something like Disney After Hours where I'm not saying they do this every second, but I think that there's certain days that they're like, okay, now children can't be here. We just want the adults that are coming to spend a lot of money at night. I know this sounds bizarre, but I feel like this is real.
Walt
Unless
had
I'm-
another thing called After Hours where the new character actresses would have to meet him in the Matterhorn and he'd give them a bit of a tryout to see how they could do their Mickey Mouse voice.
Is that serious?
Oh, yeah, Walt was a dirty old bastard. I don't know. I know he's frozen, so we could get him out and ask him, I suppose. The theme parks, yes, they gave us that. They gave us the internet meme culture, which has been wonderful. It's wonderful. I love every day just going on Twitter and seeing how many people hate my fucking guts. Late night talk shows. They've gone downhill. They used to be something worth watching. The last good late night talk show, I think, was Craig Ferguson. I actually liked his show. I think he's the last late night show I actually watched. I don't think I've watched one since him. Video game culture. Thank you, America. Reality TV. Well, that's going to lead to what we're talking about soon, because what we've been watching stars are reality. The queen of reality TV. Oh, that dirty slut. The number 12 on our list of 13, the concept of bigger is better.
Big hair, big teeth, inflated tits, inflated lips, fake nails, the works.
It's just an American thing. I've seen some crazy Russian people that also get into that sort of gear as well. But it is probably known for America. Because
It
of the
is.
previous one, the reality TV, we get to see so much of it. So sorry, Despot, we're not ignoring you, but Price actually lives there. So I want to know, what's it like walking around these days? Does everyone look like a freak, or is it just on TV?
You mean I'll tell you this. At some point, I remember it was like summer, and I was walking around in New York, and I felt like in the past there were more appealing women looking appealing walking around, and now when I walked around, everybody kind of felt not as appealing.
So diplomatic, not as
I
appealing.
I don't know how to explain it in a way that wouldn't get your channel in trouble.
Please
Uh,
go ahead.
some women were just not like investing in themselves. They just looked kind of like dumpy. That was one thing I remember. But also there was a lot of the men that I saw looked like they were very, especially as you go younger, they looked very more like Chalamet and less like Schwarzenegger.
Despot, I can't imagine the plastic surgery craze would be too full on in South Korea. But what's it like there? They like very pale skin, don't they?
Very pale skin is the beauty standard, and plastic surgery is basically ubiquitous now among women aged over 16. So almost all young women have had some plastic surgery.
That's
It's very
unbelievable.
common. It's very common for girls who are sort of middle class and up to receive plastic surgery as a gift for their before they go off to college. It's sort of thought of as, well, I'm going off to college, and I need to sort of level up before I get there. So a lot of them will get plastic surgery before they go there. And there are particular looks. There's the Gangnam look, which is a bit. It's hard to describe. It's like the face is a little bit fuller. And then a lot of them get double eyelid surgery because they're East Asians. They have single eyelids, but they get a double eyelid surgery so their eyes look more Western.
I've heard that's very popular. And when you look it up, it does make a big difference.
Well, that's what changing a face does.
No, but when I heard of it, I thought, what is that? Like, what can it do? But when you look at it, it make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. One of the first things I noticed when I moved to Korea from Ireland is just how much better looking the women are. And it's not just the plastic surgery. It's just their genetics. They're just a good looking people. Like not all peoples and races are created equal, and the Koreans are just better looking than
And
the
they have
Irish.
teeth.
The-
More teeth
a lot
than
of
the Irish.
More teeth
Yeah.
than who? Oh, than the Irish.
they're just a lot of the women are really beautiful. Yeah. Really beautiful. Like you'll see girls here, like you could walk the length and breadth of Ireland, you'd never see a girl that good looking.
So is that why you've never left?
Among other reasons, yeah.
And number 13 of things America has given us, the internet itself. Now, that's a big one if that's been a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I don't get lost anymore. But like I said, I get told what an arsehole I am on a daily basis.
I mean, we were discussing it just now with the what the fuck was that Super Size Me guy's name?
It's on the tip of my tongue. Sterling, was it? Hang on. Let's look it up.
Morgan Spurlock.
Morgan
Spurlock.
Spurlock. I was so close.
So that guy,
Spermlock.
if he had come onto the scene, oh man, you're talking 10, 15 years later, he would have just been a failed YouTuber, right? And that's it. He never would have been able to even make any noise. So as much as the internet does produce a lot of fucking Redditors, it has led to a sort of high information society as well. And there's political movements in Europe which would have been absolutely unthinkable 20 years ago. 20 years ago, if you were to say something like, look, immigration is too high and we need to pull the numbers down, you would have been called a racist, blanket, like shouted down. But now that's just normal because of the internet, because people have been able to access all this information. So it's been very, it's been essential in liberating people and getting them out of the fucking post-World War II boomer liberal political paradigm. I mean, not to get too political, but hey, you brought it up, so.
Yeah, in 2 weeks' time, Australia's banning 16-year-olds and under, or up to 16, from virtually using the internet. It started off as social media, but now they're not allowed to even use YouTube, Discord to talk to their friends, all this garbage, and it's all a load of crap because because they're pushing that it's to save the children. They've even been taking up some parents whose child sadly ended themselves because of bullying and saying this is why we're doing it. But it's actually so we all have to use ID to go on the internet in 2 weeks' time. So that could be the end of Robot Head. But it's the internet is changing in Australia as they take over, and I believe in England, haven't they already started this sort of idea?
Yeah, in the UK, they're trying to bring in digital ID cards. Now, I will never accept the digital ID card. They can find me, they can throw me in fucking jail. I am never going to get a digital ID. And the bullshit that the Labour government has come up with to try to justify it is things like, oh, well, it's a way of proving your identity. It's like, lad, I've got a fucking passport. I don't need a digital ID to double functions that are already available. It's and it would be very easy to hack because it would be centrally controlled by the government, the database.
We seem very just behind them in all those ideas that they're trying to bring in here. We need a bit more of that American on Thanksgiving Day, a bit more of that freedom of speech that we don't have here in Australia. We're losing a lot of our rights because of it. So,
happening in Canada and the UK as well. The UK has become a very despotic, tyrannical state.
Some of the stories out of there are insane. But we're starting that here. A guy only yesterday, Polly, I don't know if you saw this. He filmed a guy, I'd say a new Australian, shitting on the side. We don't call the sidewalk, on the footpath, just next to his car in the middle of a suburb. I think it was in Adelaide. Right. And a guy ran up with his camera going, hey, what are you doing, fucker? You're in Australia. Shit on the ground. Oh my God. And the guy that filmed him has been charged by the federal police for using a phone as a weapon of, racism. Sort of the racisms have been labelled. He's been labelled with those. So, yes, our list of the things America have given us, we should have just ended on why didn't they give us freedom of speech? And
is that it? That's the list.
That's the list. It ended on the internet.
What about turduckens? That's
turduckens.
Something that's, like a roast chicken wrapped in a roast duck, wrapped in a roast turkey. A Frankenstein-esque creature.
I only learned of that yesterday when you sent me a photo of a turducken, which is, I want to know how they get all the chickens and the ducks inside the other bird. Price of Reason, is that a thing everyone eats in America?
Which one?
The turducken.
Turducken?
A turducken.
Don't you know what it is? When I was sent this photo, I looked it up. It's a turkey with a chicken inside and a duck inside the chicken.
No, the other way. A chicken and then a duck.
This is the first time I've ever heard of it. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, apparently it's a thing.
Yeah, apparently.
In America.
For, where you live, apparently, and you're all exactly the same over there. Like you all do the same thing. Like we here are all in khakis and holding a koala as we speak. Yes, the turducken. It looks disgusting, but actually, to be honest, it sounds disgusting. But Polly, when you sent me a photo to say, check this out, Thanksgiving, they eat a turducken. There was one cut open. I looked at it, I thought, I bet that tastes fucking awesome.
Three times the meat, 3 times the gravy.
Yeah, we'll go the turducken next year. We'll get all on board.
So you didn't mention guns. You think of America, you think of guns.
Yes, but they didn't give them to the world. We haven't got guns here.
Are these the gifts? Okay.
Yes, these are what America gave to the world.
Self-promotion, cross-promotion.
Do you have a gun price?
I don't, no.
Gee, and you call yourself American. What are you going to do at midnight? Don't you just run outside and shoot into the air for fun?
No. I don't have any problem if somebody has a gun, but I haven't gotten around to getting one.
Next time I'm there, I'm definitely going to a shooting range because you see these people just blasting away on those shooting ranges. That does look like fun. So, Price, you're going to have to organise that when I come over.
I can do that.
Just go.
I don't have any problem with shooting one. I just don't have one.
Yes.
Shoot other people's.
So now,
Surf music's another one.
that America gave us.
Yeah.
We did the music. No more
Okay.
America.
All right.
That's enough for them. They've had a whole day. They're all hopefully drunk by now. So we have to talk about what we've been watching lately. So, which means it's a bit of this.
What you want? What you want? What you want? What you want? What you watching? What you watching? Fill your eye holes, not your pie holes, or your other holes. Nah, watching. What you watching? Robot head is watching, bitch.
Yes, we have been. Look, we take a lot of hits in this job. We have to watch a lot of shit like Star Wars content from Disney, all sorts of garbage to talk about online. But I don't know if I've watched anything quite as bad as the Kim Kardashian-led TV show All's Fair, where she plays a lawyer, something she wants to do in real life apparently, at a law firm that's run by women, for women, and only women. And not only do they not understand how the law works or any laws in general or what lawyers do for a job, they don't seem to understand the world in general and how anyone actually thinks, especially men, because the men in this are fucking incredible, how much of a cliche they are. So has everyone been watching the wonderful All's Fair?
Oh, what a joy. I think it's meant to be a black comedy, but no one got the memo.
Oh,
It's not funny enough to be that, but you're right. They
No.
probably intended for that to be a black comedy. I watched 3 episodes. I don't know if you watched all 6. I watched 3.
I've watched 3. No, I lie. I've watched 4, but the 4th one, nothing happened.
Jesus.
So I only watched
Gosh, you
3.
managed to make it through 4 episodes of that bollocks. That's really impressive, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, that was the dedication. It's for the fans. That's who it's for. The dedication of what we do to entertain people, and this one hurt. The 4th one was a struggle because I was questioning whether we can get through the series, but because at least the first 3 crazy things happened. Despot, how many did you watch? Did you watch the first one?
I watched the first one. I tried to watch the second one. I just couldn't take anymore. I didn't really have time, to be fair. You only asked me to watch it yesterday, so I watched the first episode.
You did well to fit that in one day.
It's really just like wealth porn, though, isn't it? Let's face it.
It
It's
is.
just
I mean,
like-
I would describe it as consumerist pornography.
Yes.
Do you know what the thing is, though? It has this this very old-fashioned idea that lawyers are all rich and they make tons of money. And I thought, because Kim Kardashian in this owns a fucking mansion. She walks around her mansion. She has slaves. Like, she walks in her front door and there's this little slave, waiting to take her coat. And he tips his hat to her. And then she walks casually past the kitchen and says something like, dinner at 8.
I think there was at least
servants.
2, if not 3 people in the kitchen making dinner.
There's like 4. Like, this woman has 4 servants in her giant mansion. She's surrounded by, suits that cost tens of thousands of dollars and expensive jewelry. Listen to this, right? So this is coming from Google. So I asked average salary of a divorce lawyer, because she plays a divorce lawyer in it. And it says, senior lawyers, partners, or those who own their firm can earn well over $150,000 and can exceed $250,000 annually, particularly when handling complex cases. So if you are at the absolute top of the divorce lawyer game, this is a very, very competitive industry, right? If you're a top divorce lawyer, you might earn $250,000 a year, which isn't that much in New York. Like, it sounds like a lot, but once you burn through taxes,
yes, but these guys, they bypass the law, so maybe that's how they earn more.
Yes, they've got to be doing
They
something.
bypass the law,
They've got a private jet, and it's huge.
and they focus on vengeance.
It's like, what planet are the writers of this show living on? Like, lawyers don't make $10 million a year. They make, maybe $250,000 if they're at the top of the game, but this is ludicrous. They don't make anything like that money. Do you know, like sports stars, maybe some of them would make that kind of money, but it's just ludicrous. It's just, it's like you said, Polly, it's wealth porn.
It is.
But it's definitely not old money wealth porn, is it? It's
No.
very new
Very
Kim
new.
Kardashian
It's
wealth porn.
Plastic.
It's gaudy as fuck. It's a poor person's idea of how rich people live.
Exactly.
This is a show that was put together for marketing purposes.
Yes.
It wasn't put together because somebody had a good idea. It's just it's more like, oh, well, people know her. She has a following. Why don't we do a show with her? What are we going to do? Well, in real life, she's starting to be a lawyer, and people know that, so we can kind of tap into her wealth and lawyer and sort of tailor a show around that kind of persona.
I think it's also a desperate need to sort of reinvent herself because her popularity is kind of waning, and she's got her younger sisters, Kendall and Kylie, kind of overtaking her on the popularity train.
On the slut meter.
Yeah, on the slutometer. And, she's having to fall back on something that, she is a bit of a one-trick pony or a one-trick horse, would you say?
And the money, just on the money they show in the show, there's only two lawyers, her and the Australian actress. What's her name? Naomi
Watts.
Yeah.
He doesn't look too
It was a
bad.
shame to see Naomi Watts in this because she's a brilliant actress. And to see her wasting her time and her talent in this fucking drac.
But don't you feel it on her face?
Oh,
Can't you
it
feel that
looks it.
sentiment?
But there's only two of them doing cases in their firm because the other black woman is an investigator. For the firm.
Yeah.
And they both work on the same cases at the same time, but they've got a private jet that you can put 100 people on. Like, it's the wealth that they're pretending they are making is fucking insanity compared to, like Despot was saying, what they would actually be making. But and I do have to say, with this image on screen, I did like that Matt Damon's puppet from Team America made an appearance in the show. Because my God, does Glenn Close look like Matt Damon's puppet from Team America?
To be fair, she's 78 years old. I will say this, that even with whatever she's had done, she is the best actress on the show, and then maybe Naomi Watts. And when I saw a few scenes of them sitting there with Kim Kardashian and that investigator, I thought to myself, these ladies are just thinking about the paycheck. They're not thinking, they must be embarrassed for how bad.
You
Especially
can read it.
the investigator, that's the thing that, like, it really puts it over the top because they're sitting there and they're trying to pretend that they're serious lawyers, and then the investigator is like, nah, girlfriend, I'm gonna find that dick and I'm gonna cut his dick off, yo. And like, I see Glenn Close's face and like Naomi Watts, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe they're sitting in the same room as this.
The lines.
That's the other thing. It presents lawyering as this sort of glamorous, high status, bejeweled trade. All these women do is sit around talking shite. She sits around with her tits hanging out, talking shite. Drinking cocktails, talking about men, talking about money.
Every meal looks like you're at the top restaurant in the world. Like, even when they're at work having lunch, meals are prepared for them and delivered. Like, I don't know how they get any bloody work done.
Yeah, and the reality of lawyering is that the vast, vast, vast majority of it's just sitting in front of a computer doing research all day. Be boring as fuck for most people.
I don't think they're ever going to go to court because there's no hint of them actually going to court because their whole way of doing the lawyering is virtually blackmail.
It's vengeance.
Every case they have is blackmail.
They commit, in one episode, they commit bribery and blackmail.
Yep.
And it gets worse than that. And the blackmail's weird because it seems really out of touch. A lot of this writing feels like gay men.
This is definitely not written in a woman's voice.
Yeah,
there's
women
no way.
And what women would find. Because the writing is insanity.
It's interesting. It is actually a gay man. Ryan Murphy wrote and directed this. And I wouldn't even, it wouldn't be enough to describe him as a gay Hollywood writer. Like, the guy is a homosexualist. Like, he actively promotes homosexual lifestyle through his work.
It's not gay. You're right. It's camp, bitchy, drag act kind of humor, right? Which is like, if this script was in a drag act, it would be funny.
Yes.
But because that's the absurdity, the joke, but in like coming out of these characters, it's so ill placed.
It sounds bizarre.
Yeah,
And
it does.
while I've got this image on screen, one case they win. This is the first episode, I think, because the husband, because so every case is just men being, well, sometimes not even, one case they've got the woman from who's the boss, because every client's some old actress.
Oh,
and
Judith Light.
She had an
Yeah.
affair. She's a bitch, but somehow the guy's still in the wrong. But one guy loses a case because he likes shoving this thing,
A
which is
traffic
huge,
cone.
up his ass. And that's how they win the case, is just by bringing that up and showing it to him that they know
Case
about
closed.
it. And it seems so out of touch in that way too. It's sort of weird shaming about things that, well, for one, that's not going to win a fucking court case. The guy hands over like $100 million just so people don't know that he put that thing up his ass, which is, but that's how they handle every case, is just by blackmail.
Yeah.
This
And then
show,
someone else, another husband, runs off with a trans ex-sex worker. So there's always got that sort of.
and they threw in J.K. Rowling, and they're like, "Oh, you don't
Oh,
want to
they
be
did
like
too.
J.K. Rowling, do you?"
Oh, that's right, because they were going to expose to the world that he's with a trans lover now. And yes, JK got thrown under the bus for that one. But there was even a joke earlier about, hasn't he got, because it's KK's husband that's running off and doing these
Well,
things.
his name's Chase after all.
Oh,
so Chase by
Chase.
name, Chase by nature.
That's not the best name. One of them's called Green Emerald.
no, Emerald Green.
Emerald Green. But that's the black investigator. There she is. And but then one of the things is about, hasn't he, haven't you had to go with the strap on or something with your husband? So every male in this is a lunatic, and they all like getting rooted. So, and shoving things up their ass, which is just, it makes for an unusual show.
No, this show is a combination. The way I think they probably pitched it is that it Suits meets Sex in the City plus an extra hint of gay.
Sex in the City. It's got the Bold and the Beautiful. The Real Housewives.
Real
vibes.
Housewives, yeah.
Devil Wears Prada mixed in with like a tiny drop of that.
But the weird thing with this show is
Vanderpump Rules, except it's Mummy Pimp Rules, really.
you always hear this thing like it's not made for you. And like that's fine. Like, Sex and the City wasn't made for me. I don't know if I've probably seen clips, but like apparently that was written quite tight. It was interesting and this glamorized version of these women in New York. And that's fine. Like, or the Barbie movie or something, I never understand people that rip on Twilight that much, because that's like for teenage girls that are into guys taking their shirts off. It's a great movie, but it's not really made for me. But this show is fucking bizarre because I don't know who it's made for. I don't know who would enjoy it. Like,
Women
it's
will
just
watch
odd.
this. Women will watch this show. There
Think
are
about it.
women. I'm not saying all of them. Some women will watch this thing.
Vapid, moronic women. will watch
Women,
this show.
like, Polly, did you enjoy this in any way?
I fucking
Okay.
hate the thing.
Because
You were
I'm
angry that I
so-
said watch it.
Yeah, it is the most vapid piece of garbage. I mean, yeah, it's not even, like I said, the script, if it were in a drag act, yes, funny. It's just the context of it. It's so odd. It's just, a really weird fit. Yeah.
The
I don't think this could be made for women because there's
No.
there's no genuinely passionate romance in it. All right, and that is what women like. They like passionate romance on screen. We saw that with K-pop Demon Hunters. There's this really well written, passionate sort of budding romance between the lead singer of Huntrix and the lead singer of the Demon group, and women were really attracted to that. They really loved that, and they loved the aesthetic of it. But there's not what exactly is there here for? Say, let's say this is aimed at sort of cat ladies or middle-aged women. What woman wants to sit down and watch a bunch of rich, cunty women sit around and talk shite to each other, drinking wine and showing off their jewelry? Like, who wants to watch
They're all
that?
sitting there with these dead eyes.
The type that would watch the reality shows that Kim Kardashian are on are the type of audience that would possibly watch this. It's been renewed this week for a second season,
Oh,
meaning
ouch.
so many people are watching it they're doing so well in the ratings on Hulu, which belongs to Disney, that they've announced that they're doing another season of it.
But I think wouldn't it be being viewed as a comedy? Like, isn't that the
it's
audience
laughing at or
perspective?
with?
You know,
You know, whether it's hate watching or people that like it or just can't look away or women that
It's not
like.
hate watching.
What'd you say?
I don't think it's hate. I don't think it's hate watching. I think the hate watching phenomenon has largely gone away. Like you look at, for example, The Witcher season 3 or 4, whatever it is now. Like nobody gave a fuck. It lasted like what 2 minutes on YouTube, and now nobody cares.
It's really bad though.
There's
It's shocking. It is shocking.
obviously fashion is important in this show, and the investigator woman, every time she comes to the room, she's got a different hat on, and it was getting to a stage where I was laughing every time she arrived because it's so outrageously putting these stupid hats on her head. But did you notice in this scene where Kim was wearing like a suit for the whole episode, at the end, if you look down to the left-hand corner, it's a G-string suit. The bottom of the pants are a G-string.
Oh.
Did somebody say this show is basically just an advertisement for various products? Who said that?
That's what I
Possible
said.
well,
too,
it would
yeah.
be. I mean,
I'm sure it is because
that's how they get
there
sponsored.
was
from
this-
Fashion brands.
yeah, the fashion.
There's a
brands,
lot of
the
fashion
houses.
brands, fashion, jewelry, alcohol, even cars. Like cars are featured very prominently. Like when they're in the driving scenes, they have the sort of eagle eye view of the car, then the side view, then the back view. It looks like a car advertisement. So it seems to me that this is basically just an excuse for product placement.
It is. Yeah,
Well,
that's all it is.
At the start of the second episode, I think it is. There's like 10 minutes of them eating again at the restaurant that's in the middle of their office. It seems to be, and Kim lists everything she has done, and we have images of her having her ass done. There's some electrical probe thing for her ass, the injections into her face. They go through all this, but it's presented like she's selling it. Like if you go to the website, they're going to have links to all these procedures and where you can have them done. And then they go to the investigator woman, and her whole thing is that, what is that sound?
I don't know. It must be your neighbour.
I don't know if you can hear weird sound through the microphone. I think someone started mowing next door. But the black woman does a whole thing where she opens a drawer and she's got like every vibrator that's ever been made all in the packaging, and how her sex life is about her picking out her favourite vibrator. And that's how she spends her
see the link
evenings.
below, right?
Yes. And Kim even talked about how she gets her vagina smoothed out.
This is where I think it's a whole pitch to reinvent herself. You know, I mean, not much of a invention, but
Invention.
yeah,
She's not
but-
going to reinvention herself.
but you know, like to put herself into a role like this where she can just actively tell the world that and this is a quote, she has a smooth, plump vagina.
Yes, that's
And,
exactly what
you
she
know,
said.
And characters saying to her, everyone wants to be you.
Yeah, they literally say that a few times. that
Yeah,
everyone
so
wants
I
to be
think this
her.
is a whole pitch to just get her back, you know.
When she talks about the husband leaving her, she talks about how he idolised me. Like she says all this straight to camera, straight with a straight
And her
face.
difficulty in relationships, like having to act and worried about coming off as too successful.
There was
a big
one
worry.
Being
thing.
serious?
There was one thing that it showed that whoever wrote this has never watched any sports or doesn't know what's going on in the world, that it was a major plot hole because basically they said, well, your husband, he wants to leave you, but you're going to have to pay him a ton of money because you're like the bigger earner. And 5 minutes earlier, they mentioned how he won 3 Super Bowl rings. If he's like a star player with 3 Super Bowl rings, he doesn't need this lady or his money. He's sitting with like, you know, all these kind of Adidas or whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? He's making a ton of money if he won 3 Super Bowls.
They showed their wedding as a flashback was that the 4th or the 3rd one or whatever? And the two of them are on a beach alone, and she's like meant to be like a celebrity superstar lawyer, and he's a 3-time champion Super Bowl winner, but no one's on the beach while
But
he's
that's her
getting married.
personal
Nobody
time. isn't
cares
it? Like,
about him.
she has actually married someone like that before, hasn't she?
She married some guy for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
okay. His name
literally.
was Chris Humphreys, I believe, and he was an NBA player, but to be fair, he wasn't like a top NBA player. He was kind of a lower level NBA player. And I guess that, you know what, that's a good point that you made. She wanted to import that idea into the show of her marrying an athlete that like is not excited because she's bigger than him. But that's what she did in real life. But in this show, if he won 3 Super Bowl rings, that's not like the guy that she married. Meaning it's not realistic. Like if he was a loser, if it was a football guy that never gets to see the pitch, he's always on the bench and nobody likes him, and he's like struggling to make just the minimum contract, then I would think that the show could have pulled it off. But the second they said 3 Super Bowl championship, doesn't make any sense.
This show also makes out that being a trophy wife is the worst thing in the world. Like every one of their, well, not everyone, their clients are either trophy wives or incredibly successful at inventing like some scientific procedure or something that makes them famous. I don't even know how they get their clients, because some just are sitting there like they don't even know why they're there. They come in sort of going, oh, well, he wasn't that bad. And they're like, no, we're going to get this asshole. And you're thinking, how did this woman end up in this office to begin with? But the morals of it all and how they win, we were talking about the blackmail. Like one, and they're also sort of like superheroes. One woman, for those out there, don't watch it, but one woman rings from her bedroom, gets straight through to Naomi Watts. They've never met before in their life. She says, my husband's kicking me out. She says, don't move. Goes and gets on the private jet, flies to look what looks like the other side of the country, lands, gets to this woman's apartment, and the woman's still sitting in the bedroom waiting for her. So she like flies there to save her. And then their whole thing is she's just going to steal all the jewelry that's in the house, and that's how she's going to get the money and survive. And that's the end of that case. She steals all the jewelry and it's all done. And then not only the blackmail, the other cases in I think it's the 3rd episode, Price, you might know this, another client jumps off the balcony and commits suicide, and they don't seem to care about that. And then another client, after winning against, it's Jessica Simpson, and she's with Rick Springfield, Rick Springfield's like 75 now or something, and
He looked terrible.
he looks weird, but my God, he's fit for someone in the 70s.
Oh, well, you need to put a bag on that head, though, really.
He hates Jessica Simpson because she hasn't had enough work done, and there's this hilarious scene where she's given him a blowjob, and the second it finishes, he just starts abusing the fuck out of her for being ugly. And they get divorced, and she goes and throws acid in his face, and they don't care about that either. There's no the moral of the acid in the face, that some women get really stressed going through divorce, and that you know, and then they just move on. It's the impression of what they think of men. Whoever wrote this is, I think a gay man would actually like men, but he definitely hates straight men. That's for sure, because they're all these weird, horrible, selfish, abusive. Everyone's horrible.
Isn't Rick Springfield Australian?
Yes, he is.
They really,
He's-
he was collecting a check here too.
He's what we gave back to America for everything you gave us. You gave us Happy Days. We gave you Rick Springfield.
Kim Kardashian used to go out with Jessica Simpson's ex-husband. She went out with him when they split up.
Oh, well, I think she's done everyone, hasn't she?
Yeah, pretty much. I think she dated 10 people or something in 2010.
In that 1 year. And those she didn't do, her mum did. So I think her mum's ready to jump on board any sportsman.
She's the puppet master.
So, yeah, it's absolutely
Why
insane.
so many close-ups? Why do they do so many facial close-ups?
Oh, speaking of close-ups and Matt Damon being in it, Matt Damon's puppet, there's an hilarious scene where they talk about getting plastic surgery. And
yeah, that's right.
What's Matt Damon's real name? What's her name?
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close.
The monologue.
As they got there she is. Let's freeze on that face for 1 second. As they got a close-up of her, she talks about maybe one day in the future getting a little work done. Like that's how she's made it this far, looking like that. Like she hasn't had any work. This show has like no shame.
It was painful. That hurt.
And then
But then you've got to wonder, like, are they just trying to set these women up? They're just the laughing stock. Like, why have a monologue about how she hasn't had anything done, and you're zooming in on everything she's
showing
had done?
that face. It's that's why it's such a bizarre show.
weird.
I don't know if this is meant to be tongue in cheek, a joke, or if they're just.
But that's what I mean. If it's meant to be,
Delusional.
we can run with that. But then, we have to see it on their faces. You know?
She's married to Ed O'Neill. Poor Ed O'Neill.
Oh,
turned up
Ed
in this
O'Neill.
show.
He's collecting a check too, but I could tell he was suffering. I could tell in his eyes that Ed O'Neill couldn't believe that he was here.
Maybe the appeal of it is that it is just shameless consumer porn. it's a show that women can tune into to see other women wearing, vast numbers of outfits. I watched one episode. I lost count of the amount of outfits that Kim Kardashian wears in it, and they all look very, very expensive. And all the jewelry and the cars, and it's just everything looks extremely expensive. And maybe it is just it's a kind of pornography.
Yeah, but it's presumptuous. It thinks we're all moronic.
But Sex and the City had that sort of feel, didn't it? I don't think Polly.
I hated that too.
You hated that too.
I did, yeah.
Sex and the
hate
City.
that
I've
shit.
seen
But
every
seriously,
episode.
it's
I've seen
idiotic.
every episode of Sex and the City. Do you know that?
What's it like?
Well,
It's awful. I had a
Thank you.
a girlfriend that loved that show, and sometimes we'd watch shows that I
just
like to
feel like
watch.
it's brainwashing.
It's an awful brainwashing. It's terrible. It presents men in the dumbest way all the time. The thing is, though, is that I would want to watch certain shows, and she liked that show. So part of the compromise was that somehow I ended up seeing every episode of Sex and the City, and even the movies. Like, that's so embarrassing, but I saw it all. But as bad as they were, they did have some competent people writing it. It's just like the whole message of it and the whole vibe of it was annoying, but it was more well made than this. I
Yes,
was
it
thinking
was.
to myself, some of these actors, probably their agents told them, listen, nobody's going to watch this. This is a disaster. Just take the paycheck. They'll put it on the air. Nobody's going to look at it. And then just, run away. And then today they announced that they're renewing it. I bet like all those people are like sitting there thinking, what, I got to do more of this?
We didn't mention too that she even forges her husband's signature to get herself pregnant with his embryos, the one that's getting railed by the transvestite. But the see, I always thought Sex and the City was a bit smarter, but it'd have to be smarter than this show. My only reference to Sex and the City was it Mr. Big or the Big or something? There was some
Yeah, I think
character
that's
in
his
it.
name, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Mr.
no,
Big.
I'm not asking you. You hated it. Price watched every episode. he's the one I'm asking.
You're the go-to.
Yeah. I saw him. They must have been doing a promotion in Melbourne or something. And I'm just guessing this is what was happening. He was walking out of the casino and they must have had a giveaway, like a radio giveaway, to have dinner with him. And they'd given it to like 6 or 8 women or something. Because he came through the door going, okay, girls, let's go. And they were heading to a limo. And he looked so fucking down and miserable. And then 6 or 8, whatever it was, of the fattest women I've ever seen came out the door and were all giggling and excited trying to get into this limo with him to head to a dinner. Now, obviously, it was either a giveaway or that's his type. But you could just see him dying inside in the face as he was walking to the car. So that's my only experience with Sex and the City, was seeing that guy devastated to be
You know that
seen.
we have something in common, and basically, this is a guy that we've both met. Because I was once at a nightclub in New York at an event, and I was standing there kind of in back in this area, and suddenly as I was drinking a drink, I looked to the right of me, and there he was standing there. And then he kind of like did like a nod with his head and smiled. Like, I don't know why he did that, but I did like this thing like, what's up? Kind of back to him, and just that
Maybe it was because
But
of all the fan mail you were sending him with photos of yourself with your shirt off.
he was happy that I even knew who he was. Because I'm a man, but I knew who he was because I watched that shitty show.
Is that show still going? Did they just recently make a new series of that?
One of the cast members didn't return, so they changed the name of it, but they continued it. But then they killed off his character within the first episode. Like, all the years of that other show and the movies, at the end she marries him, it's like the biggest deal. This thing, like within 5 minutes in, he's doing an exercise bicycle, and then he feels bad, like he has a heart attack and falls off the bike and dies. Seriously, that's how the series starts.
So everyone gets disappointed no matter what you're into. They'll find some way to
The funniest
disappoint.
thing is that like 5 seconds after they killed him off the show, he was also Me Too'd. I don't know if one had to do with the other. but-
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was Me Too'd. Maybe
Yeah.
it was the women I saw him with in Melbourne trying to squeeze into the limo. Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe. I don't
Mr.
know.
Big, got excited back there. Just quickly, some super chats, because I think they came in quite early. I don't want to miss them in case we've moved on from what they were talking about. We have Bearpaw 1969 for $9.99. Fan character dressed as a cheerleader jumping in the air. I don't know what that means. So I'll move on. But it sounds good. Fan character dressed as a cheerleader jumping in the air. And then For some reason, my comments here, they're not here, but they're up here. Let's go over here and go backwards in time and find. No, don't do that. Oh, someone complained about me talking about what I'm doing in the background. How it annoys people. There's Bear Paul there. Oh, yeah, the comment only maybe came through to me. There's another one. It is Melvin Deeply. We love Melvin Deeply. He's I think he swears here though, so I better be careful.
Oh, yeah.
America gave the world rap music the cunts. There's nothing wrong with Flavor Flav. Are we talking old rap music or what they call rap music these days? So,
Well, interesting you should mention that, because just the other day, it was for the first time since rap went mainstream in the early 90s. So this is like the first time this has happened in almost 30 years. There wasn't a rap song in the top 40 in the US.
I did see that. Yes, I saw that just briefly. Which,
Yeah, so it does actually seem to be in decline as a genre. And look, it will. It eventually it's going to disappear the same way sort of rock. Like rock died in 2012. There's other genres of music that have came and went. Like reggae was once very popular, briefly, and that's gone. So it'll go eventually, and it seems that we're at the start of that process.
And what's taking over AI? Is that what we get to look forward to?
Not AI. I mean, AI music. There's a ton of it out there, and if AI music was ever going to be popular, it would have happened by now. And it's just not going to be popular. The problem with AI music is it's like trying to become musically successful by copying what was popular a few years ago, because all AI can do is sort of amalgamate stuff that and put out a kind of averaged copy paste of everything, just averages everything out and reproduces it, but it can't innovate, it can't do anything new. So it's like trying to create a hit by imitating songs that were a hit 5 years ago. So people just aren't interested in AI music. There's the most that you get out of AI music is Spotify, because AI music can't be copyrighted. So what Spotify like to do is they will sneakily put AI songs into these like 3-hour chill out playlists, like study and chill or cafe and chill. And when these songs get played, Spotify get all of the revenue from them. So that's why they like them, because they're non-copyright. But that's about the height of it. There's no genuine organic grassroots interest in AI music.
I think that AI music is going to be. I don't know if it'll replace the artist completely, but right now you can even write a song that'll be your song, and you can have a fake singer sing it. So I think we are going to see stuff like that, because it keeps getting better and better. Every time they have an updated model, some of those singers that they have, they sound pretty real.
Well, they sound real. It doesn't get better. It gets more realistic. Those are two different things. I mean, the best AI song I ever heard was a parody of Europop, because it was so funny. It was really just hilariously shit, and I enjoyed it. But any serious attempt to make a good song from AI has never done anything other than bore me, and that hasn't changed. So from a purely artistic and musical perspective, sure, it might sound a little bit more realistic, but it's still fucking garbage.
To Gen Z weirdos that are like on TikTok and listen to this crap that they like Taylor Swift. What's really the difference between Taylor Swift and AI? It sounds like if you do an AI now and tell it to sound like Taylor Swift, it'll create 10 of her songs in a second, and you won't tell the difference.
Now, I don't want fans of country and Western music out there to get upset. I don't know how many of those people listen to me, but you hear the country songs, some of the AI ones, and they don't sound too bad. Because like a lot of country music sounds the same, and the stories in country music are a bit similar to each other. So I've heard like AI country songs, and it's like, to me, who's not a big fan of country and Western, they sound pretty legitimate. But that's just me.
No, you're right. I'm telling you, they're
I think it is
better.
just you.
No, they're getting better at this.
That.
They are getting better, and if somebody can at least write the music and then give it to the AI, you're going to see AI artists. More and more are gonna pop up, I think.
But Despot's right though. We're not going to get like a Dark Side of the Moon album or something. There's not going to be something.
Oh, it's going to be shit. I agree with
Yeah.
him that it's going to be shit, but I'm just saying that the generation today of like young people, they only listen to shit. They don't even understand what good music is, and the more vanilla, lame, and crap you give them, the more they eat it up.
I don't know, man. Like I've seen a lot of technologies come and be heralded as the next big thing, and then people just get fucking bored of it. A good example would be 3D cinema. when Avatar came out and 3D cinema had that sort of 3-year phase where you just couldn't get away from the fucking thing. Like you go to the cinema to watch a movie and they give you this disgusting pair of glasses that 48 people have used, since the last watch.
Oh, you don't get to keep them.
I don't want these fucking glasses, man. I don't want to watch a 3D movie. I just want to go watch a normal fucking 2D. Anyway, that was.
What about
there's
the
a
poor
reason that
bastards?
thing died, right?
What about
And
the
then
poor
these-
bastards that spent a fortune buying 3D TVs that have got
Garbage,
nothing to
man.
watch anymore?
And
That
then
was a fad for
VR.
like 6 months.
Like Apple tried to push VR with their whole Apple headset. Look, AI has its place, but it's already oversaturated. Like the slop out there has already oversaturated the internet. People are already very thoroughly sick of it. Nobody particularly likes it. And the amount of money you can make out of it isn't going to be much because you're competing with literally everybody else who has access to an AI engine. So there's no financial incentive to do it. And you can't even copyright the songs. So what the fuck is the point? Like if there's no financial incentive for people to do it, eventually it's just gonna die out. What's gonna really happen with AI is that companies and corporations are gonna use it to make labor cheaper and to replace as much of their workforce as possible. That's where the real danger is. But as for art, there's not enough incentive for people to use it as a creative force. It's just going to be used to make productions cheaper on movies and things like that, and to fire people from the scheduling department and things like that.
But it also, the people benefits of people like the YouTube gods or Spotify if they think they can replace people with AI. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes and how long that would last if they actually try to do it. So, Melvin Deeply
Are you
also
going back
says,
to the show, or is that the end of the show?
Oh yeah, we were talking about the.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
well,
We
I'm
can
just doing
address
some super chats first. So, Melvin Deeply also said for $2 is Glenn Close or Elizabeth is Glenn Close or Elizabeth Moss more hideous? Well,
yes.
yes to both. Elizabeth Moss might be a bit offended by that because she'd have to be
no.
half her age,
She's
wouldn't
all
she? Was she in that Invisible Man movie?
Yes.
I think that's the only thing I've seen her in. I didn't mind that Invisible Man movie. It was
She
shocking.
was in Mad Men. I thought she was pretty good in Mad Men.
She was, wasn't she? Yes. The is that it for super chats? I think so. Let me go down. Let's see if I've missed it. What's going on?
Do you think? Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. Kim Kardashian, don't you think she seemed really out of place in this wealthy world, which is really weird considering she lives in a wealthy world?
Well, she's a tart. She's just a slut. She's a whore. Her money
No, we
is
were
from
meant to go,
whorism.
the clothes, but you don't feel like that's a girl wearing a costume, you know.
That scene with her, and she turned around and she's got a G-string on, just blew my mind that that's what she thinks being wealthy is.
know.
Well, in her world, it is, I suppose.
For her, it is, yeah.
Yes. So imagine going in to your lawyer to talk to them. They turn around and got a bit of anal floss up their ass.
Oh,
Yes.
she's an atrocious actress. Like she cannot act, and because her face is so bloated with Botox and
frozen.
plastic surgery, it's frozen. She can't do expressions. I mean, acting is reacting, and her reactions in this show were just not there at all. The women around
I
her
had so
can't
many
act.
close-ups too, and the fashion of all the contouring makeup that goes on with young girls these days, and all their faces are just full of all this contouring makeup. There's no face there.
They've got
it's
the
just a drawing.
They've got Homer's makeup gun set
Yeah.
to Paul, where he blasts her in
But
the
I
face.
found it really distracting. Like, these lip lines drawn way over the lips and everything. It was just, it's like theatrical makeup, but it's up close. What they doing? What's going
The
on?
funniest thing is that she's supposed to be angry, like her husband is cheating on her with a trans person or whatever, and she just sits there, and because I guess of the Botox, whatever you were talking about, she can't really change her face. So
No.
like she just looks the same all the time. And the funniest thing is they wrote it into the story. Like Glenn Close is like, "Why aren't you getting mad?"
I can't.
I am.
get it.
I'm furious.
The hot black chick is actually a dude.
Oh, really?
I don't know. You said that her husband was going out with a
No.
trans.
So he's doing the black woman at work and gets her pregnant. This is Kim's way of dealing with that. In this image, she goes round and pays for a complete nursery to be built in the woman's house that her husband was having the affair with. And that's Kim literally putting together the furniture in that outfit. But no, the husband's not just been doing her; she's also been doing. Let's see if I can find.
That's to show she's better than
Is
that.
that
It's the same actress from that woke movie, One Battle After Another. The pregnant woman with a machine gun is the one that Kim Kardashian's husband is having an affair with. One of them, but that's a woman. He's also having an affair with a trans.
is that
And
that's
this-
not trans, is it?
That's the. It is,
Wow.
and it's probably the best character in the show, like the best actor. So, and that's who he's having an affair with. And there was a bit of a twist there where the
Hold on,
trans.
does the trans have a dick?
I'm
Or was it
assuming.
removed?
No, well, we don't know. We don't know.
You'll have to ask
I think it's
Chase.
implied that he does.
Yeah, I think it's implied he does. And I did the only bit which was a bit of a twist is that he says that the lawyers are trying to get her on side, and he's like, you know how girls should stick together, and then he's like, fuck them, you know, I'm not sticking with them, I'm sticking with you. So he's probably the best male character in the whole show because he's actually nice and got morals. Am I going to get in trouble? YouTube don't like whatever they are. That's what they are. I shouldn't call them the wrong thing or I'll get in trouble.
Yeah,
But
don't
yeah,
call
it's-
him the wrong thing. Don't call him a woman.
Because the woman he's having an affair with, he got pregnant that Kim's building a lovely nursery for, which is just bizarre. This whole show is bizarre. She mentions to Kim about him enjoying the strap-on that Kim didn't know about. So this guy's been super busy. He's been winning Super Bowls, living with Kim Kardashian, putting up with her shit, getting the woman pregnant at work, and getting it off with this trans character as well. So
Boy.
Does he
Yeah.
ever practice? He wins Super Bowl rings. Does he ever at practice, or all he does is this?
This
Jesus,
is how he
that is
recharges.
crazy, man. Like, how do you win 3 Super Bowls when you've got that much shit going on in your life?
That's his secret weapon.
the Agobot 64 says, so this is She-Hulk season 2. I think She-Hulk
Yeah,
was more fun in a way. Like that's a big call, but I don't know. There was
Just the line of it being comedy was clearer. See, this one, it's not a clear line.
yes. I think this show's more bizarre in that I don't have a clue who it's made for. Like the dialogue is just everyone swearing at each other as much as possible. Like, and coming out of Glenn Close's mouth always sounds hilarious.
More people are watching this show than She-Hulk, just so you know. This one has been renewed. People are watching it.
Yeah. See, I don't believe all that Kim Kardashian and how rich the family is. I think it's all a con. But
What's the con? Explain.
well, I don't have the full explanation.
No.
But I just think the mum has been blowing half of Hollywood and to make her kids rich and famous.
I have to say, I've actually worked. I'm going to be careful here. I've done work with the Kardashians before.
Ooh, give us the
I'm-
goss.
I'm not. I haven't actually met them, but I worked at a company where there were certain business deals done that involved that family, and sometimes even Kim herself. The only thing first of all, I've seen situations where people are willing to pay them a lot of money, meaning I probably shouldn't. Let me see how I can say this. There was a time that if you wanted
Look,
her
no
to
Getting
one's-
tweet-
excited.
There's just the four of us here. No one's listening. Yeah,
No
just
one's listening.
Say
Okay,
it all.
there was a time where, let's say, if you wanted her to tweet something, her people would tell you, "Yeah, you want her to tweet that? Just one tweet. Give her like 10 grand." And what's that for her? She tweets like 50 tweets a day. What does she care? You know what I'm saying? If that's the kind of thing that's going on, that's worth it for somebody. That if you have a product and she'll just do a tweet and you'll pay her that, imagine what kind of money she's making. Also, appearances. There was at some point. I was earlier on working, with her, so it was less money than that. But at some point, appearances. 100, 200, 300 grand just to go to some event, just to be there. So they'll say, we have a launch of a new product and we love that we have Kim Kardashian here and all the press takes pictures. For some companies, that was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases. So if you think about that and what I told you about the tweet and the appearances, and she's done a ton of them over the years, just that alone is money that I think you guys, beyond anything you can understand. It doesn't surprise me. If you say she has $1 billion, I 100% believe it.
I believe the money, but I believe that like how Disney sell movies and say they're successful when they're not. I don't believe the public like her as much as her management and companies and people selling things
Market it,
sell
yes.
that she's popular, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, I don't think there's
It's
a
pure marketing.
true
Fan
crowd
base,
of
yeah,
people
yeah.
that are generating this money. It's her mum and her marketing and just how smart she's at selling herself.
They're very
is-
good at selling themselves.
Yeah.
They sell.
Yeah, and that's all
They
it
know
takes.
that there's a marketing added value there, and companies know it. And at the end, I think the main money she made was probably like all those other sisters. She had some kind of cosmetics company, and that sells. And yeah, it's not stuff that you and I are going to buy. We're not going to buy her cosmetics. We don't care if she posted something on Twitter. We don't care if she appeared somewhere. But to somebody, and I guess more of a female audience, and maybe not the most high-end female audience, but a female audience, I guess
Thanks for
she appeals to
clarifying
that.
that.
Yeah, I mean, there is supply and demand here. I can tell you because from the time that I worked at that company, people wanted her to sell stuff. That she
And
she
it's
must appeal
ironic
to
that
somebody.
It all started with a sex tape.
Yeah,
It
that her mum
did.
organised.
Yeah, and her mum organised it, and apparently the mother watched 3 versions of it and helped her choose the right one for circulation.
I
Isn't that
totally-
tasty?
Oh,
Isn't that a
man.
tasty morsel?
It's like a nightmare thinking that your mother has seen
Yep.
a sex tape you made, let alone choosing which one.
The thing is that actually her whole career is that she started off as Paris Hilton's assistant, and Paris Hilton had a sex tape that I'm not sure she even did
Yeah.
on purpose. But with Paris Hilton, it may have been by mistake that the person filmed it and then released it. But
Yeah.
once Kim Kardashian saw it, and she was assisting Paris and helping her choose clothes or whatever it is, that's how she started her career in Hollywood. She probably said to herself, "Wait a minute, why am I helping this girl with her clothes? I already have all the same contacts because I've been shadowing her. I just need some guy to pound me a bit, do a video
Exactly.
of it, and I can be that." And then she did it, and she managed to sort of become bigger than her mentor.
She did, yeah.
I've been tempted to release a sex tape to help the channel. But, yeah, I don't know how that would go.
Well, we would like the reveal, so
Of what?
a robot head,
Which one?
so to speak.
Professor R2 says you don't have to play to win a Super Bowl ring. Is it? Well, see, I don't understand American football, but it seems like they have about 50 or 100 people on each team. Can you just turn up and get a ring without playing?
You can, but I suspect that they didn't mean that this guy is a bum, because there's something about his sponsorships that they talk about. Because at one point they're like, "Oh, if he goes out with a trans, how will that go with all the sponsors?" So if he has all the sponsors and he has 3 Super Bowl rings, that means that he was active on the field. That's why he got the sponsorships. Otherwise, it's another plot hole. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
The way they see money in this, there was, I think might be, I don't know if it's episode you've seen, might have been the 4th episode. There's a woman that refuses to have a baby, so her husband wants to divorce her. And the whole episode's about how it's her right to have a baby. And this one thing she wouldn't do for her husband is have a child. And he wants like $20 million a year off her and, half the company and this and that. And then in the end, he gets his new girlfriend pregnant. So he just cancels the whole case and doesn't want anything from her. And I thought, just because you get your girlfriend pregnant, I reckon you'd still want that $20 million a year from your ex-wife that wouldn't get pregnant. So the money in this,
Treading some murky lines there, aren't they?
and money in this show just has no meaning. People say no to $20 million, but then obviously Kim's charging that for every job she does to have the lifestyle she has. So
I have a question for you that kept on bothering me. Glenn Close is supposed to be at another law firm, but she keeps sitting at their law firm and eating tea and drinking tea and biscuits and talking about her vagina and things like that. And I'm thinking to myself, doesn't she have a day job? Aren't the firm where she's a big partner? Aren't
the
they
setup
wondering?
Did she leave that other firm?
I don't get it.
Oh.
The setup is so weird because at the start, the Kim Kardashian and Naomi Watts want to leave this. It looks like it's from the 50s, the way they're getting treated. Like men are laughing around the table, and
Totally.
women can't be lawyers virtually. It's like from another time. They say they want to leave, and then their enemy in this show, who's another lawyer, goes nuts because she isn't chosen. They pretend that to leave and start your own firm, that they've been chosen somehow to do that, and she hasn't been chosen to join them. So that's already bizarre. And then Glenn, it's meant to be 10 years. Then we jump 10 years from the opening to the show, and they're successful. Glenn Close arrives like she hasn't seen them for 10 years, even though they're still in the same city and could still be friends. And she arrives to give advice, I think, on Kim's divorce, but then just never leaves. She's just now she's just there, and I think she's got an office and everything, but they never explain why she just doesn't leave again. And she's hanging around with them and having lunch with them every day. So the details, they're not worrying about the details.
They're not worrying about
mentor?
anything. You don't even. But am I right that it doesn't make sense that her law
Yes.
firm would allow her to sit there all day? I don't get it.
Yeah, you're right. You're
right.
correct. None of it makes sense.
The other question is, when you were describing the 1950 scene, she's like, "Fine, I'm allowing you to go and open your own firm." It's like, couldn't they have done that without you? What are you allowing? Like, did they need your permission?
Yeah. Very odd.
Like you were saying though, the whole time I'm just watching Naomi Watts and Glenn Close looking at each other like, how the fuck did we end up here? Because it is. I don't know if I'd recommend this show to anyone. Are you going to go back and watch any more, Price?
I don't know. I watched 3 episodes, and I feel like I really sampled what this show has to
Yeah,
offer.
exactly. You feel like
I
you
don't
need
know.
it.
You know, I guess there's a part of me that it's so bad that I wonder how much worse it can get. There is a bit of curiosity, but I don't know. I don't know. It would have to be like a very dark time for me to watch another one of those.
I thought it would click out. Like I thought it might click over into funny, like watching it, just how bad it is. But it's just is depressing.
It's depressing. There's nothing in those eyes that tells us it's funny.
Yeah, it's Kim Kardashian's blank
this
eyes.
blank face.
All the others embarrassed that they're there. Despot, is it worth asking you if you're going to watch any more?
I'm probably going to have to watch a couple more episodes for my Worst of Book Awards next, in early next year. But I wouldn't ever voluntarily watch another second of this. It's just dreadful.
Well, there's going to be another whole season, so if people like hearing you talk about it, you may have to watch 2 seasons of it. So yes, the All's Fair is it'd have to be up there with one of the worst things I've ever watched. I would sit through more She-Hulk than this, and that's saying a lot because She-Hulk was fucking terrible, but this is just fucking bizarre. She-Hulk didn't seem to hate men quite as much as this show does. So, and Polly, you going to be going back?
No.
Yeah.
I think She-Hulk hated men, but it was so over the top that there was something you could at least laugh at it. The only thing I'll say, and I'll give a compliment to this show, I can't believe I'm doing it, that at least whoever's making this show, they're not taking like Star Wars and making The Acolyte. They're just making some crappy show for women who like trashy entertainment that's mindless, dumb, and idiotic, and maybe some women like that. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure. Whatever it is that they're tapping into, it's their own property. They didn't steal it from anybody. So as far as I'm concerned, if they make it and there's women that want to watch it, go ahead, make as much as you want of this. They're not ruining something of mine, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, great point.
Yeah, exactly. Just go for it. Just, and let us make some good things on the other side of the fence, and we'll just keep separate that way. So, I think that's enough for that show. Now we want to ask Price about something he's seen, but before this will lead into it. But before there's been something that's been pissing me off.
Well, do you know what pisses me off? I wonder if you do. I tell you what I think, perhaps it pisses you off too. Let's get down to what pisses me off.
Now the wicked weirdos have been pissing me off, those actors, but this has been going on for a while. But they've got
The touchy-feely love fest.
yeah, yes,
The crying, the
two
touching.
leads. Now this I thought wasn't real at first, but let's put it up here. Let's go like this. There's someone that hates me talking like this as I'm doing this, so I'm just going to keep doing it. these two weirdos just never ends. But Cynthia,
I thought this was the hoax. Is it real? No,
I thought it was a hoax too, but then today I saw it reported as that it's real. Anyway, they said we don't know if it's real, but that's what makes it incredible is that it doesn't seem out of place.
No, I totally believe it.
She said about them that we are in a non-demi-curious, semi-binary relationship.
Oh, can you interpret that for me?
Well, she says more, but I
Okay.
can't just quickly flick across, so I'll have to go over here and do this.
It's wonderful how you see something like that, and it's literally an Onion headline, but it's
Yeah.
real.
Yes. And she goes on to say, it means we are not actually a couple, but we are curious about what that could mean and everything.
Oh, for fuck's
So
sake.
at first I thought this was an Onion thing, but then I've seen today that some people are saying it's real. The amazing part is we don't know whether it's real or not because it would not be out of the realm of these two. So
And like, I don't give a
bizarre.
fuck how crass this sounds. These two women look fucking gross. They're so skinny, like they're super skinny. Like it's hideous.
I think they're crying all the time for lack of carbs.
yes, they need a good meal.
Yeah.
But the injection drugs for fat people were meant to be for fat people. Surely these two are on it, or they're just not eating. Like it just looks
What's
foul.
with the continuous crying as well? Like,
Oh yeah, they love to have a good cry. But you didn't sort of notice this so much with the last film that they've been doing this since the last film came
No.
out. So like for 2 years they've been going on with this fucking garbage.
but when they're together, they behave like one of them knows the other one's dying.
They do. They here's some more of their incredible. Is that this? I've got so many weird clips of these. Oops, not that. I'll show you this one first then.
I know. Sorry.
Ariana, is it
Beautiful sistership. Something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something. I know. She's sorry.
Ariana, is it true they didn't feed you on the set of Wicked? Don't you fucking touch her, you fucking I'll fucking kill you! Ah! Yeah!
And that's not that out of the realm, is it? It's
No.
No.
that's how they have been acting.
First of all, I'm trying to pay a little homage today. And
Thank you very much.
Read to the girls.
Let's
Yes.
just quiet them down for a second. But she starts crying here just because the black woman says that, it's been emotional.
A
watching the
large
film.
part of my life. So, watching Elphaba and seeing this character, you're not going to tell me.
Oh no. Already.
Not the time, helicopter.
But you're not. You're not going to tell me
Even the interviewer was
that
crying.
didn't sit
Christ.
with you and what we saw on the screen wasn't real.
Now, I'm sure
Oh, please.
actors have always been pretty weird, unhinged, self-absorbed. But, in the golden years, they'd sort of just be kept hidden away, having their affairs and murdering their lovers, and we wouldn't know about it. Now it's presented as something to be proud of, that you have mental issues and like you're unstable and you
Yeah,
can't
what is going on?
you can't deal with normal everyday life.
Maybe someone on the panel can answer this. A while ago on TikTok, it was trendy to pretend that you suffered from mental health problems. Is that still a thing, or did that fad pass?
I hope it's
What,
past.
was this legitimate mental health problems or just people that wanted to share they were crying over something?
It was some fucking Zoomer trend. They would pretend to have multiple personalities. They'd pretend to be bipolar to drive clicks. It was trendy on TikTok for a while. I don't know if it still is.
I just have
don't-
my normal mental
hopefully
problems and
not.
try and hide them as much as possible.
But what's like constant mental collapsing in interviews?
It's
What's going on? And what's with all the fondling and touching and squeezing everything all the time? Like even Pedro does it. He does it all the time too.
Oh, Pedro loves a good feel.
But what is this about? Like,
But Pedro disappeared as quick as anything. He was everywhere, like fucking everywhere. I thought I was going to open my eyes in the middle of the night and he was going to be standing there at one stage. And now I haven't seen him for months. But these two take the cake for fucking weird behaviour.
is there a drug that they're on? Is this a new Hollywood drug? Like, what's going on? I
Maybe
don't recognize this one.
has side effects, all those Ozempic stuff, because they're maybe taking that thing that makes you skinny, even though I don't know why. I mean, Ariana Grande was skinny, so I don't know
Yeah.
why would you need to be more skinny, but maybe that drug does something to you.
Now, talking about them leads us to the film that's out at the moment, and like, I don't know if you could pay me enough money to go see this film, but someone on the panel has seen the film, and I believe you watched all of Sex and the City, so it's no surprise who's seen it. Despot, have you seen this film, or have you have any intentions to see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it this week.
Oh, you saw it too. So two people on the panel have seen it. Now, I'm quite confused because I just assumed that this was meant to be a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. And then I saw, and I haven't got it here, I saw someone on Twitter have a picture of Dorothy, and the caption was, "Isn't she a real cunt?" And I thought, wow, that's interesting take on Dorothy. And then I saw people arguing, and then the takeaway was that these movies have nothing to do with the original movie. So can someone clarify what the hell's going on? Do these movies have anything to do with the original story?
I can explain everything to you. Basically, what happened is that this whole Wicked thing, and if you didn't know, it started because in the 90s, there was an author / political activist that didn't like the patriarchy, and he wanted to write a book that, in his mind, the Wicked Witch was a victim, whereas the Wizard of Oz was a German mustache man, if you understand what I mean. So that was why he wrote. What'd you say?
Of course.
Of course. No,
how
and
would you not
that was
think
his
that?
idea. The concept behind the book is that, and I haven't read the book, but now I've been looking more into it. Whatever you see in the movie and the play, all that stuff, much worse in the book. Like, they go all in. They toned it down for this play. Now, somebody read that and thought, oh, wouldn't it be great as a niche type of thing on Broadway where you have like some kind of musical where people are singing songs and it's this quirky thing that the witch is actually good. You know what? For Broadway, for some kind of side gig, it was fine. But the second they brought it into cinema to make it a cinematic adaptation, that's, in my opinion, where they crossed the line. And I'll tell you why. Because all the visual cues that they have in this movie, like the yellow brick road, the bubble that Glinda is in, what Glinda wears, the ruby slippers, all that stuff are things that are very unique to the classic 1939 movie. Now, in these movies, they use the same visual style of that movie to try to explain to you that basically it's a prequel and a sequel to the classic movie you know, and if until today you thought that Dorothy was fine and the wizard was fine and all those people, they're all jerks. They're terrible, awful people. The only good person is the Wicked Witch of the West. You just never understood the story. And in this second movie, the one that you're showing pictures from, they went all in. They show Dorothy looking like Judy Garland, but you only see her from behind. So she's walking around, you see her, but you don't see her face. And the reason they don't show her face is because they want you to fill in the blanks yourself and think to yourself, oh, they're now adding context to the original Wizard of Oz. And I said it a few times in the past few weeks that there's normies out there that don't know anything, and they just go to the theater and they think, this is probably part of the same series of books. I must have not understood the movie until today. I didn't have the right context.
I know Hollywood loves just destroying whatever they can, but you think the Wizard of Oz would have been safe? You think that it's I don't know, and they're getting away with this. Is it too far away, the Wizard of Oz, the original film? Like, even though we love it, is no one there to sort of protect it or argue against these things? Because people seem to be raving about this bloody film.
It's the opposite. They want to destroy it like they want to destroy everything. This is no different. My argument is that it's no different than all the other good stuff like Star Wars or everything they destroyed. In this case, it was easier for them to destroy it because it's more difficult with the rights. It's been a long time and they somehow got away with it in an easier way. They didn't even need to buy the franchise. They could just ruin it. If they didn't need to buy the IP, they could just ruin it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
The very generous super chat here from Reyes de Madrid. Am I saying that correctly? I think so. Should get someone else to read these. Wicked was the first to make the bad guy the good guy subversion. Disney then took that idea and made Maleficent and Cruella, etc. See, I wouldn't have had a clue. When these plays were on, because they were on in Melbourne forever, I just thought it was like a nice little prequel, to the Wizard of Oz, but didn't really get into the story too much. Despot, what did you think of the film?
It's bad. It's not terrible. It's not a terrible movie. Now, I liked the first Wicked You know, I'm not one of these people who's just allergic to musicals and I can't fucking stand musicals. If the musical is good and the songs are banging, yeah, I'll have a good time with it. You know, I
Yeah, I
like
heard the first one was quite good.
first one is good. It's very good. It's not perfect. It has problems. It's too long. It has this boring animal subplot, which is it just there's far too much screen time is dedicated to it. They didn't need to do that. But it's still a very good film. This is shite. So for the first hour of this, I was bored out of my fucking skull. I seriously considered leaving the cinema. I got up to take a piss after about an hour, and I just sort of stood in the hall thinking, fuck, should I go back in? I'm bored to death of this. But fuck it, I thought, okay, I'll go back in anyway. So it did get better. After the first hour, it picks up a bit, and the best third is probably the final third of the movie. But it's still bad. I mean, it's here's the thing. I knew that they were in trouble because they used all the best songs in the first movie, like all of them. All the bangers from the soundtrack are in the first movie. They didn't leave anything out. So I was thinking, what the hell are they going to do for the second movie? I was genuinely curious to see how they would approach it from a musical perspective. And what they did is they recycled some of the songs, some of the better songs from the first movie, but they changed the lyrics. So they had The Wizard and I. That's a really good song from the first half of the musical, and then they changed it. They just had different lyrics, and it doesn't really work. It sounds very contrived. They wrote some new songs, which plainly were just shite. There were no really good musical sequences. There were no really good bangers in this.
They don't seem to be pushing that either because the original was very pushed as a musical, and I actually forgot that this is meant to be a musical. This one,
yeah, I mean, this is a musical fundamentally.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any good songs in this movie. Like some of the songs are okay, but very forgettable. There's a very funny scene in which these two, Elphaba and Glinda, get into a cat fight. That's a really funny scene. It's probably the best scene in the movie, and that's funny. And yeah, it's just the rest is all very dull, predictable. It's far too long. Like a lot of it should have been cut out. There's a scene where Glinda does a solo number, and it's just that singer. What's her name? Ariana Grande. She's in this wee room singing to herself for 4 minutes. It was boring as fuck. There's another song which is a duet between these two, and they just stand there completely still singing to each other. Again, boring as fuck. That's not what a musical like this should do. The musical numbers are supposed to be big set pieces with lots of choreography and things like that, and it's just not there. It's very static. A lot of the time, it's very boring. So this is a much more boring movie than the first one. I strongly recommend you avoid it. You'll just the weird thing is though, the audience have really loved it. I mean, I really enjoyed the first one. I thought this one was shite, but I think the reason for the positive reaction from the audience is that it's really bottom heavy. So the first half of the movie's dreadful, but the second half it gets much better. So people kind of leave the theater in a good mood. And
Someone's left a good comment here. Strugan says, Team America was the last great musical.
That was
that's definitely a good one. It's definitely a good one. But yeah, this is a pretty bad movie. It's not awful. I wouldn't put it in the bottom 20 of the year. It has some redeeming aspects. Costume, makeup, musicianship, arrangements, they're all very good. It's very well directed. John M. Chu is a very good musical director. He knows what he's doing, but no director could have made this movie good. The material simply isn't there. It's neither in terms of the script or the music. It just isn't in there to make a good movie here. But
who's directing the interviews though?
Yeah, that's where they need the real good direction.
That's where they need some help.
Control the
I do have one question, and this maybe, Despot, you can also answer this. In the two movies, every time you see the Wizard of Oz, he has a fetish. He wants to collect all the animals and harm them. That's his dream. Every scene that you see him, he seems to be nice, but then it turns out he wants to take all the animals and make them suffer. And in the first movie, he tricks Elphaba into doing a spell where she harms monkeys, and then she's sad and she tells him he's a jerk and runs away. And then in the second movie, she meets up with him and she tells him that he has to stop to do all this stuff with the animals. So he's like, fine, I'll release the monkeys. And then it seems like they're on the same page, but then she discovers again that he wants to collect all the animals and harm them again. And it's like, This is what the Wizard of Oz has been reduced to, that he likes to harm animals all day. I can't think of another thing that this guy did in 2 movies, in like 5 hours of movie, except for like he has this fetish of collecting the animals and hurting them. That's one.
Yeah, it's a real waste because it could have been an interesting character, and instead they turned him into this caricaturish villain who is always lying and always duplicitous and always sleeked. And it's like, come on, man, like flesh the character out a bit. This is fucking boring.
And the final thing is, and nobody wants to ask this tough question, he basically, in a flashback, it's understood that he had a flask in his pocket with some kind of strange chemical that he ended up having an affair with Elphaba's mother, getting her pregnant after he gave her this chemical. And then after she took the chemical and they had the affair, the child came out green. Why does he have this chemical? Why is the wizard walking around and the chemical influences people? How is he influencing that woman? Why does he have this chemical? Nobody, and I've said it on a few places, and people are like, no, you don't understand. She wanted to drink the chemical. I don't know. Why does he have a strange chemical that makes her baby green? This is all very, very weird. And it later turned out, and I didn't actually read the original book, that in the original book, it's not like ambiguous like the way it is in the movie. In the book, he actually wants to serve her grape juice, meaning he brings this chemical in order to take advantage of her in the book. In the movie, it's like he brings the chemical, and then I guess that she's happy to drink it or something, but all of this animals and weird chemicals with the wizard is such a strange take on the Wizard of Oz, and nobody wants to admit it.
I didn't know.
Did they have the monkeys?
They had the monkeys. They were the victims. You have to feel bad for them all the time. He tricked Elphaba. The reasons the monkeys with the wings exist, the bad monkeys from the movie, from the 39 movie, the reason they exist is because the wizard tricked Elphaba into doing a spell that made them have wings, so they suffered, and he made the animals suffer because that's his fetish, and he made Elphaba do it. That's what caused a rift between them in the first movie.
I didn't know Bill Cosby was getting roles again. Sounds like Bill Cosby's playing
it was the Wizard of Cosby for sure.
Yeah.
What was going on there? Yeah,
I mean,
Dr. Huxtable.
This is one of the most
Made the
bizarre
monkeys wear those jumpers.
What do you say, Dispot?
Made all. Oh.
Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
No, I'm just being an idiot. That he made the monkeys wear those jumpers. The Cosby sweaters.
The Cosby sweaters.
I was going to say, this is one of the most bizarre franchises in Hollywood history because you get the original movie, which flops and then goes on to become tremendously successful later on, like much later on. It becomes successful, but for years it was thought it was just a flop. Then they did Return to Oz, which is a masterpiece. But when it came out, it was thought of as being terrible, but it's actually a brilliant, bizarre, dark movie.
It freaked me out that when I was a kid.
It is so good. It's got such a unique
What about The Wiz?
aesthetic.
Oh, yeah.
The Wiz?
The Wheelers are great.
No, The Wiz. Wasn't
Michael
that the Michael
Jackson's.
Jackson version of The Wizard of Oz?
I don't know what
Do you know
is.
that one?
Ah, the Wizards, they did a full black cast version, I think.
Yeah.
It was Michael Jackson was in
Diana
the lead.
Ross, wasn't it?
Diana Ross. Was he in the lead or Diana Ross was in the lead?
I can't remember.
Well, she
he
was
the
Dorothy. He
Scarecrow?
was the Scarecrow. I'd say that
Yeah,
they're
he was
both
the
in the
Scarecrow.
lead.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know if that's canon. That's the
You
Michael
know what?
Jackson.
That movie I prefer. I would watch The Wiz with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross any day over this crap. Michael Jackson had some good songs, and Quincy Jones produced the music. Yeah, the movie is kind of weird in parts, but I felt that at least it doesn't try to piggyback on the original. It does its own thing, which this one refuses to do. This one wants to piggyback on the original.
Still, I want to stop all this interview stuff, though. Like, it's just got to stop.
You can't get beyond that. can you?
It has to stop.
You couldn't watch the movie just because of the interviews.
Exactly.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. What kind of lessons are Hollywood going to take away from this? Because this has been a massive hit. It is huge, the amount of money this thing has made. It's like it's going to clear. This might clear $1 billion. Let me actually quickly look up Wikipedia. Wicked 2. So it had a huge opening weekend. All right, so the box office, it's made $255 million globally in its first weekend, $150 million budget. So this thing's easily going to do $700 million, I think. And, well, maybe it'll slow down although the word of mouth is good, it's got really good scores from audiences. It's going to be, I mean, it's going to be a really big hit. It already is. So, you know, what lessons are Hollywood going to take away from that? Let's rape all the old franchises again, but let's go back to the fucking 30s and 40s this time instead
that's
of
right.
80s.
And they said they want to make a sequel to this. Now, like, they're saying, oh, well, maybe we want to make a sequel.
We're going to have a To Kill a Mockingbird musical.
I don't know if they'll go there with that one, because if they had to change the
not?
victim in the bad guy,
They'll change it.
look,
They'll
I
change
don't
it.
even want to go there. It's just a hole to dig. Talk about it if they change that story.
Atticus Finch will be have fetish against animals or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Pedro Pascal will play him for sure. Yes.
Here's a quick question for the panel. How much longer before Hollywood stopped trying to make Pedro Pascal a thing? Because, you know, the audiences don't like the guy. Because it happens. Like, you have these actors. It's usually about 5 years. Hollywood tried desperately to make him a thing. And it never really takes off. Like, Sam Worthington was one.
Yes.
That guy who played Kang in Ant-Man 3. Like, they tried to make him a thing.
Sam Worthington's an Australian, and there's a few Aussies that's happened to. They just start edging their way in, and then they just disappear.
We've had the Margot Robbie.
What's her name? The Last of Us girl. What's her name?
The potato.
Potato Head. They're definitely going to try to make her a thing. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah, I reckon Pedro might already be on the way out. Like, I think like he just peaked so hard this year, but has anything been a huge success and
Not
sort
really,
of the backlash?
Not all. Like Fantastic Four was supposed to be a big hit. That was a miserable flop.
And then he's out there dancing with his gay lollipop thing, pretending to give it a head job. And like the public face of saying, "Oh, we're cool with all that," you know, we support everyone, I think can be quite different to the board meetings at Disney and behind the scenes, you know, what they actually think about that behavior out in the public. So, you know, and he's turning up with his Dolls t-shirt, protect the dolls at other people's premieres and that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's sort of getting pushed out the door at the moment, so that we won't be seeing as much of him anymore.
That makes sense.
Maybe he'll end up on All's Fair.
They usually find somebody that they try to make him the next big thing. We've seen it in a number of cases. Zegler too. They try to do that, and they'll give him some movies, but if they don't start producing receipts, it could very quickly turn from making him the next big thing to not casting him in anything. I don't think that Pedro Pascal, after this year with so many flops, is going to get the exact same amount. Maybe he'll get supporting roles, but I don't think that they're going to pretend that he's the leading man.
Yeah, there was another movie he did. I think it's called Addington. I haven't seen it. It's by Ari Aster. If you're wondering who that is, he's the director of of Midsommar and Hereditary. And Pedro Pascal was one of the leads in this, and the thing was an absolute box office catastrophe and has pretty awful scores, like 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.6 out of 10 IMDb. So audiences never really liked it. It's a shame about Ari Aster. He never really took off. Like, I fucking hate when that happens, when like a director's best movies are like their first one or two movies, and then they just sort of disappear into mediocrity. It's very frustrating. Happens all the time.
I don't think I'll be off to see Wicked. I don't think I can do it. Well, I haven't seen the first one, so there's a very, very big chance I won't be seeing this one. But I'm sure that is the beginning of the new raping of old Hollywood, and they'll be making the most of that. So before we move on, I think we should do the mailbag, because we promoted people sending us mail last week. So that means we've got to do this.
He's got the biggest bags in town, the fullest bags around. He once slammed them in a door. They drag across the floor. They're full of all the good stuff. Just don't you be too rough. With robot heads, big mail bags. It's mail time, bitch.
It is mail time, bitch. And before we move on to the mail, someone said last good Pedro movie was Wild Robot. What was Wild Robot?
It was an animated movie, so I don't think that it really relied on him as much.
Ah, yes, I know the one. That was quite good. It was meant to be quite good, that movie, wasn't it?
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it was good.
I didn't know he was in that. Thank you, Argo Bot 64. Yes, Pedro. I could do without it. He's not that bad, though. Like in Last of Us, he's better than the potato, that's for sure. So, with the mail, we're encouraging people. Hang on. Let me put my mail banner. Is this the one? This is where you can send it to. So, we have Joseph Preby. I hope I'm saying that correctly, who was formerly from the US and to avoid Thanksgiving Day, he's moved to the Middle East to do YouTubing full time. His channel is the Light Equals Darkness channel. So please go check that out. He wants us to continue to talk about Pluribus, which we talked about last week, which we'll probably come back to when the series finishes. I think there's another episode out today. Despot, have you been watching Pluribus?
I don't know what that is.
It's a new Apple TV show from the maker of, why does this always leave me? Breaking Bad. And it's a sci-fi show. And we talked about it last week. It's quite good. What episode price are we up to? Is it 6? You put me onto this show.
I'm thinking to myself, I saw an episode where the guy that speaks Spanish, she met with him.
Yes.
Not she met with him. Maybe she's been talking. She met with him. Is that the last thing that happened, or am I now?
Yes, and I think there would have been an episode out here today about an hour ago, the next episode. Actually,
okay.
You told me to watch it, and I think there was 3 or 4 episodes out. I'm confused now. And I enjoyed it very much. Watching the solo episode, because I'd caught up, did make a difference with the pacing. When you've got like a bank of shows to watch, the pacing doesn't hurt so much, but the last episode did feel rather slow compared to watching those first 3 or 4 in a row. But Despot, it's worth giving a go. It's quite good.
Right, yeah, thanks for the recommendation. I'll check it out.
There's a good concept behind it, but yeah, I hope that they don't do what you just said, that the pacing isn't so slow.
I would have liked to have watched it all in one go, but it's sort of an invasion, but not what you expect, and they take over most of the world except for this one woman. Oh, no, 6 people actually, but we follow this one
Wasn't
woman.
it 11?
Was it? Just adding people to them.
Was it 12?
Yeah. So it's got some
I think
really
it was
good
13.
ideas.
I think it was 13.
These days, the better the ideas in a show, the more you worry about how they're going to finish it up or like what they're going to do.
You're stressed the whole time.
Yeah,
watching.
you watch some crap, you don't care. And then something that seems quite good with good concepts, you're like, you just start thinking about how they're going to fuck it up in the end, which they quite often do. So next we have our next, and please send letters in, any problems you have. Tom's come through with some problems. Tom's from the Netherlands, and he sent a lovely letter. It's quite long, but he's got a few problems. He's got one, his corgi sheds 24/7. And 4 seasons in a row, everything inside is covered in fur. Any suggestions that don't involve shaving the corgi? That was going to be my first suggestion. Does anyone have any shedding pets on the panel that they could help Tom with his shedding corgi?
So a corgi, so what are they? They're cream and tan. So like basically just change your clothes, rugs, throw rugs, everything to cream and tan. You'll be right.
Did you see that the Queen let her corgis die out because she didn't want them to be bred in the future as some special corgi and treated terribly?
It's a good idea.
Yes, that's why she didn't have corgis in the last few years. So she had lots of corgis, but apparently she didn't want them to become like a breeding farm down the line after she was gone. So that's why she stopped having them. So yeah, or you could wrap the corgi in Glad wrap. Do you have Glad wrap? I think it's cling wrap in the States.
You know, we have Glad wrap.
You call it Glad wrap?
It's saran wrap. Usually they call it saran, but the company that makes it, Glad, makes saran wrap. So you do have Glad wrap.
Oh, we're simple.
Well,
We just
the
call it
dog's
Glad
not going to
wrap.
be happy covered in Glad wrap.
Leave his face
Maybe
out.
a little suit made out of sausages or something. He
don't
can
have the-
stay entertained all day eating those. And
We don't have the corgi's name, so it makes it easier to suggest things that mightn't be so nice. If we knew it was Mr. Squiggles or something, then all of a sudden it's hard to do anything mean.
Yeah.
Are pets very big in South Korea?
Yes, very big, because this country has the lowest fertility rate in the world,
Ah,
and a lot of not
not too
just
hard over there.
like men too, because the cliche is that middle aged cat ladies. Men, I've seen a lot of men with dogs as well. I used to teach business English, and some of my students would bang on about their dogs. It was fucking annoying. Um, and yeah, you do see a lot of them. Like they sell more dog strollers here than baby strollers now, and
Really?
it's quite sad. In fact, I live in the same building as a dog salon. People bring their dog to this little dog salon, and it's just, I suppose it's a psychological cope to deal with the absence of children in their life. It's really sad, actually. But yeah, you do see a lot of dogs here. They like small dogs, though. It's very rare that you'll see a large dog. Koreans like very small, even tiny dogs. But that's understandable because Koreans live in very tiny spaces. Like everyone lives in a small apartment.
It's all relative.
He's got a couple of other problems here too. He wants to know if he should move to Australia. Our government, except for one party, is composed of idiots who want to cover the whole Netherlands with wind turbines and push through a personal. Is it COVID? I can't. My glasses. I got the wrong glasses on. Wallet, and the overall digital cage is closing in. Soon it will be Fortress
Inquisitorius.
Inquisitorius. That annoys me a lot. Is Australia still under a strict post-COVID regime, or is immigration worth it? Just escaping the weather here would be bliss in itself.
Don't come to Melbourne if you're trying to escape weather.
No, Melbourne's not the one.
No.
I mean, if you like it pissing down in the morning and then sunny in the
And then
afternoon.
35 degrees.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. You can't plan for doing bloody anything. We went to ACDC, was it last week we mentioned? And the only day it didn't rain was the day we went, thank God, because it was an outdoor concert, but it piss rained the rest of the week. But look, the whole world's being wrecked. I can't speak about South Korea, but the rest of the world's being destroyed. But Australia's always a bit behind everyone else in everything, innovation, just movies in general. So we're slowly getting destroyed over here. So you could come here for a little while and probably enjoy it. You know,
I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in South Korea, if you want to watch pornography, you have to prove that you're over 18 to the government. So you actually have to give your details to the government to prove you're over 18. Then you can access pornography via the
That's
internet.
embarrassing.
Do you have to put what you
That's
want
what
to
a
watch?
teenage boy wants to do.
Do you have to put what you want to watch and category? Yes, midget anal fisting or something like. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fill out that form. So
Well, that's and gambling
Little
is
people.
fucking who cares about gambling? But yeah, that's the crack with porn. But I suppose a lot of people just use a VPN. I wouldn't know. I don't watch any.
No.
see, we think everyone there's into gambling because of Squid Game and all gambling with their life over there.
There actually is. There's a lot of again, I know that's from teaching business English for a few years. Korean men are Squid Game's quite accurate in that sense. A lot of Korean men ended up very heavily in debt due to gambling on the stock market and particularly on crypto. In fact, I worked for a company it was actually a division of Samsung. They banned their employees from trading on crypto because 2 of the employees lost all their money on crypto and killed themselves.
Jesus, that's
So, yeah.
yes. No wonder.
Squid Game season 1 is quite an accurate representation of what life is like for a lot of South Koreans. It's pretty grim for many people, and they do get themselves in obscene levels of debt. I think South Korea has the highest household debt in the world. Yeah, I mean, it's predictable that season 2 and 3 were as bad as they were. Season 3 in particular was ass because it was very much lightning in a bottle, and it was the guy who made it was taking all of these experiences of living in South Korea and putting them into this, one season of television, and that came from years of experience. But then when they asked for a sequel, it was just like, well, he was.
We'll go back in.
He just had to extend the story out to the point where it just died. I will be interested to see and I think Netflix didn't have a chance because it got so bad, Squid Game, by the end. They decided, fuck it, we're just going to do an American version and see how that goes. And I don't even blame them because they couldn't keep making, season after season of the original one. It was getting so bad.
I wonder
It didn't need any sequels. It didn't need a sequel, though. All it needed was just one season and you didn't need to
That's
do
true.
anything of it. It
But
was
that's-
a good miniseries.
100% agree. But the problem is that that's just not how it works anymore.
Right.
Well, how it works now is you get an IP, and once the IP is successful, you just squeeze it until it's dead. That's how it works.
They never go to them and go, do you have a second idea? Because your first idea was awesome. Let's make a second idea. It's always,
Nope,
no,
that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. We're fucking just wringing that dry. So, yeah.
It reminds me of that show with Eric Bana that they recently filmed. It was supposed to be a miniseries, and I think that nobody thought much of it. I think that they thought it wouldn't do anything. It had Sam Neill in it too. So basically, it's some guy that he's like a park ranger. He's riding around on a horse in some mountains and trying to solve a murder. And this show, which I rather enjoyed it, and I don't really know why, but it was so simple. And apparently everybody watched it. Like the whole world watched this thing with the guy and the horse and the mountains with Eric Bana. And
I don't even know it.
And then they said Netflix were like, what, everybody's watching it? Like, we're going to make more of it. Now it's going to be a series. We're going to make more. There's going to be more seasons of it. It was just some miniseries of a guy solving a murder on a mountain. And now they're like, that's it. We're doing a ton of it now. Eric Bana probably can't believe it's the most relevant Bana has been in years.
We love Eric Bana here.
Yeah, Peter.
Yes, because he started as a comedian before he's an actor and played
This is the
bone
opposite.
leader.
I don't know if you see this. If you think he's a comedian, in this one, every shot, he's miserable. He looks like he's sad and miserable in every shot. He doesn't even crack half a joke here, but he is good in his role.
Have you ever seen, and I've been meaning to do a video on this for about 5 years, Chopper, his film about a Melbourne criminal.
Yeah, it's just a light chick flick, that
It was
one.
his first film. They got him because the real guy, Chopper, who used to hang around Melbourne, he's died since the film came out, liked Eric Bana so much as a comedian, said, if you ever make a film about me, he has to be the actor. And that's how he got the role. And he is incredible at playing Chopper. Chopper became like a celebrity on TV, but he loved killing people and chopping them up. That's why he was called Chopper. It's because he loved a bit of the chop shop.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, he used
I
to
should
kill
watch it. Now
Yeah,
I want to
you
watch
really
it.
should watch
I
it.
keep meaning to
Watch
do-
it. We'll talk about it. It's great.
This was going to be in my video. The Pentridge where they had him locked up. He cut his own ears off and stuff in Pentridge, and he did crazy stuff. But they've turned Pentridge into like apartments, and there's a cinema there. You can actually go to Pentridge and watch the film Chopper, which is a quarter of it's set in Pentridge, which is quite an unusual thing to do, to actually be in the prison that he's in there cutting bits off people and himself. But yeah, Chopper's a good film, all based around St Kilda, an old hunting ground of mine. Back to Tom, and because he sent some good problems, so I want to get through and help Tom out. Hopefully, come to Australia, Tom. Bring your corgi, and there's so much good weather here. You'll be able to let the corgi run around outside and shed all his hair before he comes back
True.
in. Him or her.
Yes, no longer an indoor corgi.
And if he comes to Australia, it'll fix his next problem, which is our walls are so thin that I can hear my neighbour humming and pissing every evening. Like our house is haunted. She looks like, how can I put it mildly? I love this description of a person. Skin-coloured cheese with a perm. So I'm a survivor of audio abuse. I thought I'd mention it.
Skin-coloured cheese.
Yes. Wow. How come if you can hear neighbours, they're never people you want to listen in on? They're never interesting or attractive. Like, they're always people that are frightening and you can hear them. But pissing and humming, that's not a good combo, is it? And it shows how thin the walls are. But yes, Tom, come to Australia and that'll fix that. Do you guys have any problems hearing neighbours? What about in South Korea, where it's also small and live on top of each other? Do you hear the neighbours much?
Yes. It depends on the apartment building. So we live in quite a decent building, so we still hear them, especially if they're loud and making noise. Like if you have a neighbor who likes to party into the night, it's gonna be a fucking disaster, because you will hear them no matter where you live. But I used to live in what is called an opistel, and that is a very, very cheap one-room studio building. And I lived in one of those for about a year. And you could hear fucking everything. Like if some guy was wanking, you'd hear it. If people were fucking, you'd hear it.
So you've got to give him your suggestion then. What would you do? What did you do in that situation?
I wanted to hear what else you heard. There was wanking and
You heard everything, man. Like the walls were paper thin in that place. It was a very cheaply studio apartment building. And then you'd hear everything. Like if some guy, I had a neighbor, a big fat guy, he would hum and just, I'd hear him fucking humming just very mildly.
What about if you hum right back? Like, and every time they cough, you cough right back.
they even there's I was watching a Korean TV show recently which kind of made fun of that because it's a guy trying to study, but his neighbors won't stop fucking, so he punches a hole through the wall and shoots them. Like, and it's making fun of this phenomenon, which is quite irritating in South Korea. A lot of people suffer from the activities of their neighbors because the reason Koreans have to live like this is because there's 50 plus million of them in this, half a small peninsula. But that's not even the problem. The problem is that 70% of the country is mountains. So the amount of land, and most of the flat land is farmland, so the amount of land they have available to actually just physically live on is tiny. So they have to build these bric-a-brac apartment buildings, and they're insanely expensive, and it causes a lot of problems, a lot of arguments.
Someone must have come up with a strategy, though. Someone,
They've
if they're all on top of each other, you've got to have something to give Tom. Poor Tom. You've got to help him out here. Give him a suggestion.
Well, he's coming to Australia, so he's going to live here for a while.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Otherwise, earmuffs, you could wear those, which isn't great. You could blast The Last Jedi through speakers back through the walls to shut them up, something that, might put them off.
See, I think if you do whatever they're doing right back at them, it's more unnerving.
To them or to you?
Yeah, like you just do it straight back. If they're coughing, you cough straight back.
You mimic them.
Yeah.
You can hear them pissing, though, so just...
got one of those taps that's a hose,
Got to really push on the pressure, really build it up, and just have a bucket right next to the wall, I suppose.
Yes, that's my recommendation.
Shove throw the corgi hair through their window. Just annoy the fuck out of them. It might shut them up.
Plug it in your ears.
Put the corgi hair in your ears. Put the corgi in your ears. The last problem from Tom. Tom's having a rough time over there. He's going to love Australia. Tom says, I can't stand attractive... I better read it all because if I just stop at I can't stand attractive females, it's not going to work. I can't stand attractive female content creators who rely solely on their looks but pretend that they have something to say or play guitar badly. From a hardworking content creator's perspective, hardworking? I suppose I am. Isn't that cheating? Should they be demonetized? Now listen, if I could get paid to sit in a bikini and play video games and make $1 million, I would do it in a flash. I don't think we can feel bad for these people or kick them off the internet for doing something that I would do in a second. I would make it as easy as I could. Look, we all have different skill sets. Mine is swearing and mispronouncing words and being generally an Australian buffhead. That's my skill. I don't know. What does the panel think? Should we chuck off the...
She could still be working hard,
Yeah.
really. Because he's saying from a hard-working content creative perspective, that's you, right?
I'm guessing.
I mean, maybe they're working hard too at being attractive, right?
Have you seen what they do?
No.
No. See, you're not on the line as much as I am and other people. What do you think, guys? Do you think we should kick them off or let them make all the money they can?
The person who wrote that he doesn't understand how competitive that space is. So, for example, I think, let me actually just give you the figure. I'm going to ask Google here, American women are on OnlyFans because the number is shocking. So 1.4 million American women are on OnlyFans. So there you go straight away. The average OnlyFans income per month is like $150. There's millions of girls on there, all think they're going to, make a really good living from this, online prostitution. So it's an insanely, if you have a decent set of tits and you're a reasonably nice looking woman, you think you might be able to get online and make some money. No, it's insanely competitive, insanely difficult. So, I mean,
was he going that far? Was he going to OnlyFans or was he just talking about like YouTube streamers or Twitch streamers?
It's the same principle. You're basically trying to trade on your looks. And if I was a decent looking girl with a nice set of tits and I could just sit on my ass and get paid to play video games, I'd fucking do it. And you'd bet your ass I'd be exercising for an hour and a half a day to keep myself looking good. Because the alternative these days is to go and work in the fucking grind, in the fucking everybody's broke economy. Fuck that.
Yes, it's true. We would let them do it. Let them have their fun. What about you, Price? Have you been tempted to get the bikini on?
I don't think that it's going to work very well. But listen, it's fine that there's women that they do well, and people like them because they look nice and all that stuff. I just don't want to hear any nonsense later. Because I feel like there's a double standard. On
Are
one
you
hand,
saying
you
you
see
don't
all
want
these.
you don't want them to talk?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
guys
Just
get
leave.
lectured to all the time about how terrible they are. Meanwhile, all these ladies
Right.
that they're in this space, they're always,
That's right.
you know,
It's the
playing
same
up their
game, right?
looks.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It's just both sides of the same game.
Right. I mean, there's hypocrisy here because women are like, no,
Absolutely.
we're feminist, girl power, and all that stuff. And then they show their boobs and they want to
Yeah.
get people to look at them. So sometimes it's hard for me to take seriously, but
Yeah.
I can't hate on women if they have something that men like and they get viewers. It's fine. They're using whatever assets they have. It's just don't lecture me later. But aside from that, I don't really care.
As long as it's not Leslie Headland, who your previous relationship you had with Price of Reason. As long as it's not, I don't want to be flicking around, just scrolling on YouTube and there's Leslie Headland in a bikini. Anyone else is fine, just not her.
Yeah, no, preferably not her.
So hopefully, Tom, we've helped you out there, and I think come to Australia and bring your corgi, and you'll have a lovely time here until this country here's destroyed, which they're trying to do as fast as possible. So yes, you'll have a great time here. But please, people, send in your problems for the mailbag. Anything you want to know, anything we can help with. We always have a very smart panel here that has.
Yes, cheaper than a therapist.
Yeah, exactly. A lot cheaper than a therapist. So does anyone, before we take off, does anyone have anything to plug? Despot, what video have you got out at the moment?
I did a video about the worst biopics of the century. So check that out if you're interested.
I saw the thumbnail. Let me get my lips moving. I thought the thumbnail of that, and I want to check that out because I have a personal hate for most modern biopics and what they've turned into. So I want to check that video out. I'm guessing you're not a fan of some of the newest ones?
I mean, biopics are what they always have been. It's a genre that produces a tiny fraction of good stuff. Some biopics are good. That's always been the case. But ever since the genre has become commercially viable, the vast majority of biopics are just utter fucking trash.
Yeah. I think the Elton John one, even Elton John hated. So he probably wanted to star in it. I saw he complained there wasn't enough drugs in it and sex.
There wasn't enough Pedro in it.
Yes. So that's your latest video. So please go visit Despot at his channel and watch his excellent videos that he spends a lot of time on. You must be socialising enough over there to get that quality out all the time. And Price. What do you want to plug?
Oh, nothing special. I have a channel. I did a Wicked review. Since we talked about Wicked, people can see my Wicked review
Positive?
there.
Was it a positive review?
Not so positive, no.
Yes, so go check out Price of Reason for his Wicked review. And I'll have to watch it to see. I haven't watched it yet. I want to see if he liked it or not. I have a feeling it wasn't very good.
I'll keep you in suspense, yeah.
Yes. So remember, send the mail in. Thanks to everyone for being here this week. And cheers to all our American listeners for their
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I hope they've eaten a lot of food and drinking a lot of booze and having a lovely time over there. And we will be back next week and hopefully have some nice special guests next week as well. So cheerio, everyone, and see you soon. Bring your mates next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.